Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
It is a Thursday, February 29th. This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. I'm getting used to this new intro that we've got because it's just silence in here. We don't even have, I got to even get speakers just so we can hear the music of the intro. Matt Iwanyk with you here on this leap day of the leap year. Joining us on Thursdays, as always, is Joaquin Gage. And we got a Nasty Club listener. He was the winner for the month of November, I believe it is. We finally have worked this out. You could see him in the Nasty chat occasionally as GrumpyCat. Thank you for coming in. GrumpyCat, do you mind if we quickly say your first name?
Matthew.
There we go. See, it's just a great name. We got Matthew is here. But like I said, GrumpyCat, so thanks for coming in, and thanks for all the support.
Thanks for having me.
And that jersey, how long ago did you get that Oil Kings jersey?
I think we got this one last year.
Yeah?
I think they came out last year during the season, so I'll just plug them quickly. We're season seat holders, so we get a bunch of the swag and cool stuff. So
that was given to you from the team?
I believe this was one of the perks we got last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's an amazing perk for being a season ticket holder. Getting a jersey. Because it's all stitched too and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not one of those replica giveaways that you get that is just printed on. That is a full-on legit jersey.
Yeah. So we have a lot of them. We go and buy the game-worn ones at the beginning of every year at the locker room sale and stuff like that. So, but it's fun to go to, and then we just have a collection that we can roll through between this one, the old Black King, the old third jersey, the big crown. It was the black kit with the lime green.
Yeah, the green. Okay, I like that one too.
That was a nice uniform on the ice, as the whole team playing. That was a good one. It doesn't beat the classic one that they usually wear with the crown and the white, blue, and red, but it's a good go.
I will just the Oil Kings, there's always those promotional jerseys. I'm going to take those ones out, like the Teddy Bear Toss, all that. They just have good uniforms, actually. I don't think the Oil Kings have really put out a bad jersey so far in this iteration of the Edmonton Oil Kings. It's just a sharp logo, sharp colors. They go to this every so often, these extra logos and stuff, and they're just sharp.
Yeah. This logo's been this logo specifically. I have a couple of other sweatshirts and stuff with this logo on it.
Which is for those just listening. It's like the lion is biting EOK, Edmonton Oil Kings, obviously, with some very sharp teeth, and he's got the crown on top. It's like one of those European badges.
And for the listeners too, it's a blue that's almost purple with yellow, very royal looking.
It's got Ukrainian colors almost to it. If you picture the Ukrainian flag, those type of colors, Pantones, I believe they're called.
Like the old school Buffalo Sabres colors, right?
There's a good way of putting it.
It looks tight. Yeah, the red, white, and blue. At first glance, it reminds me of when I played against the old Victoria Cougars, because those were those colors, and that was a pretty good logo too. That was they were a horrible team, but it was always fun going on to Vancouver Island in those years because we dominated back then. Poor Steve Passmore.
As players, did it matter the jerseys to you guys? Because there's been talk in the past, the retro jerseys the Oilers had, that Oiler, the white with the orange logo. The players hated those. Did that matter? When you were a player, did you care the jerseys that you're wearing, or did it just affect you?
No. He always felt like some jerseys looked better than others. I played in Portland for most of my junior career, so I had Chicago Blackhawks. That was iconic, right? They look sharp no matter what, with the red, and Prince Albert Raiders going there, kind of old Minnesota North Stars, I guess. That was what they looked like. I was fortunate enough to have jerseys that looked quite good on the ice. They always popped. So, and then
when you're wearing them, they just look better.
Well, and then you, as a goalie, you can kind of put some accents on with pad color and different color schemes. So that's always great.
Big jersey collector?
Not specifically. No, we just have a lot of Oil Kings ones. We do have some. We do have a couple of Toby Reeder Oilers jerseys, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
We, again, as season seat holders, we get a discount at the Oilers store.
Yeah.
So we talked them into like 2 for 1, and then we showed the extra discount card, and they were not very pleased, but they were the last 2 there, so they were just happy to get rid of them. So when we go to Oilers games, my girlfriend and I walk around with those on, and everybody gives us the like giantest stink eye, and we're like, well, it's a point of conversation standing in line for beer.
You might have to
It is asked if your family or...
Yeah, no, it's just you buy those on purpose. Yes, we did.
I've always wanted now I don't think Toby Reed is as obscure as I want, but I've always wanted obscure jerseys, and I've mentioned this many times before, and I'll keep saying, like, the one Oiler jersey I would love to have is a Nathan Walker Oiler jersey, just because it's like, one, people would think that your last name's Walker outright just because of how generic that last name is, and then two, it'd be like, who? Yeah, Nathan Walker, the Aussie. He was here for like a game. Don't you remember?
I gave one of my jerseys away to a friend, and he wore it to a game, and this was years ago. And he said he was walking in old Northlands at Rexall, and he walked past someone, and someone looked at the back, and they were like, "Gage, are you kidding me?" So, if you want an obscure jersey, you can always wear one of mine, man.
No, you're too famous, especially now with EST.
Yeah,
Look, you were
I
at
guess.
center ice.
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking, and that's a nice.
Wait, you
jersey.
were nervous?
None of us wanted to do that. Like, we were like, I was. We took pictures at the beginning, and of course, everyone's there to just see George. But then they said, "Okay, we're going to go down on the ice." And we were all like, "What? Why?" As players, you kind of just want the puck to drop. So I'm like, "Oh, these guys are going to look and say, who are these guys? And let's just get the game going." And I mean, it was great. It was very nice of the Oilers to honor that team in that way, and I thought it was a fun, great night. But yeah, it was the girl that did the, like, okay, here's what we're going to do, and just kind of producing the whole thing. She said she's never seen 3 more nervous individuals going out on the ice before that time. Like, we were just all, my gosh, I didn't want to do that, but it turned out all right.
I'm surprised by that, though. Like, I'm not at that rink, but you've played in front of Edmonton Oiler fans playing. You know, like, what is the nerves of just standing there? Like, it's not like you're going to have to worry about letting the puck in.
No, it wasn't the crowd. That was fine. It was just the whole, I don't know. It was more nerve-wracking standing in front of the players, I think. That's why I was nervous. The fans didn't, that wasn't part of it. It was just the whole, being part of those types of things before games. We all were talking about, no one wants, all the players just want to start, and we were just like, oh, I hate these things, and they go on forever. It was quick, so it worked out all right. But yeah, none of us
know what
wanted,
you're doing.
No, yeah,
Get in and out.
Yeah, so it was okay.
You brought us a picture.
Yeah.
What's this picture?
Well, okay, I'm going to, normology, turn off your headphone for a second. I was just in New Zealand on a vacation, which is why, half the reason why we had to wait so long to come here. The other one was you went to Vegas. I was ready to go then, but I went on a fishing charter off the Coromandel Peninsula, and we caught this fish, and I was wearing my EST sweatshirt and had made him listen to EST a little bit on the water. But I lifted it. I said, "You got to get a picture of the logo." The charter guy's like, "You're joking, right?" And I'm like, "Nope." You got to get a picture of this one, and then so that's why I brought that in for you guys.
What kind of fish is that?
That's a kingfish.
Oh, the kingfish.
How
So it is
big?
That one might have been around 90 centimeters. 40,
That looks massive.
40
Yeah.
or so pounds. We caught a couple more later that were over 1 meter and 65, 70 pounds.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was a great day.
How long were you out on the water then?
12 hours.
Really?
Yeah,
that
at
sounds
that point,
wonderful.
I was vacationing with in-laws.
Yeah.
And so the charter guy was like, "Do you have to get back for anything?" I was like, "No, I'll sleep at your house if you want."
How long did it take to land one of those things? On average.
Probably a few minutes.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Normology saying resty grump face in the nasty chat. And then some very nice fish.
Well, I have
from
another-
Spency 5 cents and Surveyor Brent to that as well.
So, yeah.
You have another.
I have another picture where I'm smiling. Like, you can actually see my face. So that's the one day I wasn't GrumpyCat. I was very happy.
So where'd you get the nickname Grumpy Cat then?
I just look like a black cloud walking around. That's why. And it transcends, like, you got friends, and I play on a men's league team, and, obviously you get made fun of in one way or another, and people rip on each other all the time. Me and one of my teammates, Teabag, which is his nickname, we would sit beside each other. We don't sit beside each other anymore, but like we would just complain about everything. And people would be like, "This is great. You come in here and you just watch this black cloud of anger in that corner, and you can just throw any topic at them, and they're gonna get mad."
I think I'd get along with you two very well. I think I could enjoy that pretty good.
So, but it's just my resting face, and I've been in like at work and stuff. I was during the pandemic. We were doing online training and different things, and people who don't even know me, you'd just be sitting there paying attention and watching, and they'd be like, "Man, Matt's really angry for some reason." I'm like, "Nope, paying attention, going along." Like,
You're George Costanza.
I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. Sorry, I'm not smiling at you. So when that took off, and a couple of people like who are not friends would just be like, "Why is he so angry all the time?" Without just walking around the office and stuff like that. So that's why it kind of stuck and then has transcended. So if you walk around my office, you can say GrumpyCat and people will know who you're talking about. People have transposed my picture or my face onto GrumpyCat and hung it around the office and things like that, or changed nameplates. So it's one name that's stuck around for sure.
Did you ever like have a teammate that just always brought the room down?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
There's always one. But you can't have too many of them because then it ruins the room. But usually you can pull them out of the funk that they're in. Like, so they'll cut, like, everyone will be happy, and then the grumpy guy, we had to eat here, or the bus was too long, or my sticks haven't arrived, like my skates suck. And then so you just add on to it. And usually those people get picked on a little bit. So cutting the laces the last bit, so they're just getting out in the last like tug at breaks or whatever. Or I always like to do the sock tape on the bottom of the blade or whatever, so you can't see it. So you take a knife, you put tape on it, and then just cut it perfectly. So they'd get out there and just completely bite it, because then they'd be trying to get this tape off the bottom of their blade and stuff like that. For real bad guys, if they wore a visor, just a little bit of Vaseline on the visor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so it just on the side,
terrible.
like, so they would look and go, "What is that?"
And there's
then
just something there.
Yeah, so then they'd wipe it, and then they were screwed. I played with a guy that purposely put Vaseline on the inside of his glove.
Yeah.
Because what was his name? Patrick Augusta. Played on the Leafs farm team. He was this Czech guy, really talented, scored like just a slot machine, scored a ton of goals, but just a prick to play against. And Mark LaForge, he was actually banned from the OHL his last game, like lifetime ban. He went around on a line brawl and suckered everyone about 18 times. So, but he would put Vaseline on the inside of his glove, and then when he'd be on the penalty kill, Augusta would go to the front, and then he'd just put his hand and wipe his visor. And then Augusta would have to be off for the rest of the power play trying to clean this Vaseline. It was brilliant. I mean, I don't know if anyone does stuff like that anymore, but
They should try that.
I mean,
Can you what would be the penalty for that if the ref caught it? Unsportsmanlike, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
But they'd have I would take the chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go up against Nathan McKinnon or something, just put some Vaseline
Just a
to start
little,
a power
just,
play.
you
Force
have
them to
some-
call a timeout or something like
Yeah.
that, waste their timeout.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
I'd like to see an NHL ref stop a game and just be like, "We have to clean the equipment, and we're not trying."
Vaseline has been placed on a player's visor. We have a little delay.
I did it to a guy, the time I get grumpy is people parking outside of my house, like in my driveway. So I asked a guy politely not to a few times, left a note, "Hey, you can't park here. I got to get my kids to my things too." But then the one day he parked again, I did Vaseline his window, his windshield. I went out there and nice little coating off to the side and to the middle. So as soon as he hit his wiper, I probably caused an accident. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
It's all good. 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. You could also jump in the nasty chat. So I'm getting a few texts in the nasty chat and Paris Jewelers inbox. Berlando saying, who else is doing this?
Orlando's who played in your hockey tournament on the weekend.
Oh, was he on the team?
Yeah, he was your goalie for the hockey. Was it hockey?
Hockey helps the homeless. Hockey. That's coming up in May. Heavy Hockey Showdown.
Heavy Hockey Showdown.
In support of the Sexual Assault Center of Edmonton. I don't know which school.
Adam.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think which goalie, because we shared goalies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he
which
was
team-
white
I don't know
or
which team
blue
he started
jersey. But
nice
who else
jerseys,
has it? So he's had it. A lot of people are just saying this in the nasty chat, but I'm to ask you about the Halid story.
Oh, Halud.
Halud story.
The Halud story.
Normology also is mentioning that. So I have to ask you about the Halud story.
Well, I was a little late to the show watching Tombstone. So once the morning show started doing all the Tombstone stuff.
Halud. See, I've never seen Tombstone still, so I'm not going to lie.
Okay,
yes, I'm
good.
sorry. You're good. I still haven't seen it.
But when they play the clip, out of context, it doesn't quite enunciate the same way, and so it sounds like Halud. And I was like, I don't understand what's so funny about this. But so then people are like, no, it's how lewd. Like, you're being very lewd right now. And I was like, oh, that makes way more sense. And so we actually started a group chat at work for the AM Nasties who listen. And it's just called Halud, HALOOD.
That's good.
You guys have a chat at work about the nasties?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, the one thing the pandemic did was made big corporations realize that online communication is a big thing. And then, we're all smart people, so we built our own little, there's the corporate conversations, and then there's all the private
The
side
sub
ones.
conversations.
So we have, so then anyone we find out who listens to the morning show, like, I was getting a coffee one morning, and then one guy walked by, and I heard the new AM Nasty Crew song. What say you, AM Nasty Crew? And it's just one of those things where you're just sitting there getting a coffee, and he's walking by, and you just kind of like look at him, give him a wink, and carry on. He's playing it on his cell phone, walking through the office.
That secret club. The stone cutters.
I know
but
what you're
without,
listening to.
I heard it, right? But now when you really listen to it, like we were talking about, like when the Tommy's always late, I never heard that for the longest time for some reason.
There's
And
always some different little Easter eggs in there.
Yeah. And I just started dying laughing when I heard that. That was a well done.
Yeah,
well
it's really good. All the little things that the supporters that put stuff together for you, and then you guys and the stuff you guys make is wild. And then to explain, again, traveling through New Zealand, we would catch up on the podcast portion and stuff like that, and found out none of my texts came through. I had some pretty good ones, I felt like. But when you guys were doing the spicy pickle promotion with A&W.
Oh, yeah?
I have a bucket hat that is just pickles.
Why do you have a bucket hat that's just pickles?
Because it was at a farmer's market and it fit. Because Gager might know this. If you have a big head, it's hard to find hats that fit. And so, I have fair skin and I burn very easy. So the bucket hat covers my neck and ears. And it was pickles. And the girl had made all of these different patterns or whatever fabric. So I picked pickles because I thought it was funny. So I actually took a selfie and I sent it, but it obviously didn't come through. But it was on Tombstone Tuesday, and I was like, "I'll be your pickleberry." I was like, "That's pretty funny."
That's good.
When we went to the States, Eric had a couple. Like, for some reason, Eric was getting no messages in our group chats, and he couldn't send any. And he had this really good one as soon as we landed, and he was disappointed it didn't come through. That always sucks. When you have a good one,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't, you just can't get it out there, or no one responds.
And look, you can't do it a month later.
No.
I did. I'm here. You guys can't stop me online. But yeah, we'd listen to the show, and whenever I tell people, I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna listen to sports talk radio," and they're just like, "Ugh, why?" I'm like, well, they talk about more than just sports. And so my girlfriend, when we were driving, she it was the day they were mad at you for something. It was the board or something wasn't, and they were accusing you of something.
Boy, I don't know what day isn't that.
And then at one point it just turns into like, as much as Trevor on our hockey team and I were the black corner of sadness and stuff like that. It's more facetious and hilarious at the end because you just ham it up. We're bad hockey players. We don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to complaining about something. But the way she was like, this is like a sociology experiment of listening to men's friendships. Like, just the way that they teamed up on you and then took it too far and all this other stuff. So she's like, at one point, she's always just kind of like, I don't know if I want to listen to this. And then 20 minutes in, she can't stop listening with all the bits and different things that come up and what people do hammer in on. And like the way the text line can influence something, like some people get a good text in the morning, it changes the entire direction of the show. And it's amazing.
It's very true. especially their show, the morning show.
Yeah.
But even like JMO and I, we'd like often we'd have an idea of where we take the show, but we'd also know that at some point there's going to be that question that comes in the inbox, and that's going to be the show. And it's just awesome. That is the one thing about the text line, way better than the phone lines or emails, that has changed radio shows, is that now more than ever, the listeners are actually really much a part of the show, not just listening to the show. And it's been fantastic.
Well, the nasty chat took on a life of it. I couldn't believe it was available when the first show, you get on YouTube and go, oh, there's a chat. And then you look at all these people talking and you're like, sometimes I'm more involved with reading all the texts in the chat box than the show itself. It's great. I like in the mornings at 6 a.m. everyone's saying good morning to one another and stuff. It's good morning nasties and stuff. It's its own little entity, that whole thing. I think it's great. It's another way for people to be involved in the show. It's like you said, there's little things, little intricacies that happen, and you start recognizing certain patterns, and they bring something up. Oh, this is hilarious! It's great, and the fact that it's only been 6 months, and
will be 6 months, March 6th. Of on air.
That's impressive.
Is that right?
Man.
Yeah. Jeez, it's already been 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't believe it's flown by.
That's crazy.
GrumpyCat also was the very first person to get a nasty pack, nasty club pack.
That is true.
Nice.
He was here moving out your aunt.
Yeah, my aunt had an office at the end of the hall here. And it's funny because you guys would talk about like different stuff around you, and I couldn't place where the building was in my mind, like because I thought you were talking about that strip mall where the registrations for us is and stuff like that. And I drove by and didn't see any signs. And then my aunt needed a hand moving some filing cabinets out because she's retiring, so she's given up the office of many, many years now. And then I walked upstairs like, oh, this is where they are. That's interesting. And it's amazing, like if you go into like the industrial areas of the city or the commercial areas or office buildings, and the amount of like you'd have never guessed you guys were here.
No,
right? It's just an office building. Then you guys have converted very nicely into what is a radio station.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's nice, like having it very unknown to a degree. Now, anyone who's picked up something, like we've given out the address to enough people that people know where it is. But I don't know. There's just something very nice and
it's not like driving by the old CTV building where it's like CTV,
big signs,
and satellites, and
had the totem pole up front, so it's just easy to find it right on a major road. We're just off a major road, so it's. But yeah, you're walking here, moving stuff one night, just.
Well, we popped in because there was an Oilers game, so YouTube Trev and you guys were getting ready to start watching the Oilers game. And then, you graciously gave us a tour, and you were like, aren't you a Nasty Club member? And then you went and, because you had all the stuff, so you just put the few things together.
I was putting it together that night. Like, I was getting stuff. I was going to be emailing everyone, like, hey, your stuff's ready to go. And he was like, well, you're here. Here you go. You don't have to come pick it up.
The next morning was you can come get it. And I think even Surveyor Brett was like, damn it, I couldn't get
he was number one.
I walked in the office, because I work with him. I walked into the office that morning. I think it was a Friday morning, with my cup and my lanyard and all my stuff. And I'm like, hey, guys, how's it going? How did you get all that? I'm like, yeah, it's got to be special.
Suck it, Surveyor Brett. I just who did a really fine job, missed at least one call, but did a fine job at the Heavy Hockey Showdown on Sunday. To do a fine job.
He was taking bribes for different things.
Oh well, thank you. Like we were like, bribed him for what?
I know that
to like do good for us.
There was a joke in our nasty chat where. I don't know if it ever hit the mark, but if somebody had raised enough money, he was just going to call back a very clean goal for some weird reason.
Oh, damn, I would have loved that. He had a very quick whistle that saved us.
Oh, nice.
Because it whistle went and then the puck went into the net. And it was like, oh, thank God. Because that was when the game was really getting out of hand. So thank you, Surveyor Brett, for that. But then he did miss, I think, 2 calls, I would say. So one balanced out with the quick whistle and the other thing. So, yeah, I'll give Surveyor Brett this year.
But I've also heard from other people that it wasn't a bunch of like elite level talent skating around either. So you got to manage the game about, there's a tripping call against us. We played at 11 o'clock the other night, and one of our better defensemen tripped somebody right away. And you're like, that's such a greasy call. And then 5 minutes later, we're down 3-0. And they're like, oh, yeah, you guys are clearly not the team that's going to... Didn't need the penalty called against you. No, we can't skate.
No, we have to do some soul searching as Team EST and really start recruiting some people. No offense, Gager, but Sean Bell is my number one target.
Oh, yeah.
We need defense, and a puck-moving defense would be even
Don't get
better.
Belsey. Belsey, yeah, if I play with him, he says, yeah, I'll see you at the end of the game. Like, and he's supposed to be defense. You won't see him cross the red line.
The thing is, though, he's Belsey that I expect that he'll be able to. He has enough with that game. He can go up and then come back and still play defense.
If I were you, I would try to recruit Cass before.
But I need defense. So when I'm putting Cass on defense,
he has a
Strudwick.
200-foot game.
that's a good point. I do need Strudwick.
He has a 200-foot game. You don't want Struds. Struds is he's half speed all the time now.
Yeah, but his half speed. I did his men's league camp a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And we were even watching a game again before our men's league game the other night out at the River Cree, and we're the bottom division. We're what makes the bottom possible. But we're watching a league or a division that's clearly 4 or 5 above us, and you can see the talent that exists there in those men's league games, and you're just like, man, these are phenomenal hockey players, and they are nowhere near like skating with Strudwick, and you're like, it's effortless, and the amount of talent that you have to have, and like we were even talking about it too, right? Like Strudwick was not the guy you would go and get as your number one defenseman for a Stanley Cup run, but he was a solid NHLer, and you can see the talent and would just run roughshod over everybody else in the.
The Oilers would love to go get a Strudwick right now, wouldn't they?
Right now, yeah.
Well, that would be a good one. Yeah.
Wouldn't that, if you're looking at trade deadline moves right now, if there was a Strudwick out there, that would fit this team quite nicely.
It would insulate injury. You can push him in. Yeah, that's. I hate to say it, but yeah, the Oilers need a Struddy.
It's good for the Oilers to have Struddy, but Team EST doesn't need Struddy.
No. The Oilers would, but no.
The
He's,
real Struddy. They want a new Struddy.
you want Cass. Cass will work hard on both sides, and he's an intimidating presence. So Belsey doesn't. He's not as intimidating as Cass. Cass is.
Where do you fall into this?
What do you mean? Where do I fall into this?
Into where we're ranking of recruits? Do you even fall into it?
No.
Are you saying we shouldn't put any effort into the recruiting of Joaquin Gage?
No, I'm past my prime.
I'm not talking about goalie.
Oh,
just straight up.
Yes,
because I know you don't play.
Yeah. So, no, I would be just. I would be the Strudwick of your team, just in case. Yeah. I'm not that good anymore. I used to be able to do some stuff, but you know what? Another guy that possibly for comic relief is Ben Scrivens, because he plays a lot, and he's got some silky mitts for.
Does he play out a lot?
Yeah, he plays he doesn't play much goal. Yeah, he plays in like a co-ed league, like
Scrivens.
Yeah, and he supplies some. He's quite funny when he plays. It's all
Scrivens, Cass, and Bell. That's a pretty good 3 to bring onto the board for next year.
For sure. That's really good. I'm trying to think.
I'm hunting you down, Heavy
You
Hockey.
should do it Kickstarter style, where you set up some stretch targets for fundraising.
Yeah.
And then just go do these, like, you're not even there to play hockey. You're just going to go run Iwanyk at some point.
I don't play. I'm coach.
Yeah, he's coach.
Run Iwanyk.
Shoot the puck into the. There was
Pull him onto the ice.
I think I heard somewhere in the Alberta Junior last year, the coach said to start firing pucks into the other bench. So you might have to worry about that.
I'm not worried. I personally am not worried. I don't think anyone has issues with the coaching staff after that game. I don't think anyone from Team ST is going to sit there and be like, I pulled out the Any Given Sunday speech.
I think
games.
I could see you being a good coach and one who pays attention and stuff. You're not going to get blindsided by a puck.
No.
You're watching the game.
The only time is when I'm putting another stick of gum in my mouth.
Who did you model your coaching stuff to? Let's look at the past 6 Oilers
Well,
coaches.
see, now I was assistant coach. I got to make sure I put that up because Coach Pete ran our bench.
All right.
And he was very stoic. He brought a calmness to the team. You looked at him, you trusted him. He spoke when in his moments, but he was profound when he spoke. He picked his spots. I was that young up and coming assistant coach that's waving my arms around and just yelling different things like pucks deep and pulled out a cigar to try to get them fired up, saying we got victory cigar for after boys. We got to win this game.
Do you have a pack of cigars or just one for you?
I just had one. Just one. It didn't work. So maybe I need the pack next year.
So you were Jim Playfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't opposed to throwing something on the ice.
Yeah. Throw one.
If I needed to. And there was no moment where a stick or something needed to go on the ice, but I wasn't opposed to it. So I guess maybe a Jim Playfair would probably be the best one.
Yeah.
Like, I was no Woody. There's no question. I'm not Dave Manson. I'm not scary. I'm just trying to think who else it could have been. A younger Jim Playfair, yeah. Like Jim Playfair from Calgary.
Yeah.
That's what I go with.
Okay. Other recruits that hopefully I can get them on the Hangout soon. Kyle Brodziak, we'll get him in here. And Jason Chimera for a little bit more speed up front.
What about Laddie Schmid? Is he still around the city?
Oh, yeah, we threw a Laddie, too.
Laddie's, yeah, you could dominate with Laddie.
Murray McCourt brought him up.
Yeah.
Wow. We're making a lot of changes this team next year.
Yeah, it's this is Mr. Burns's softball team from Simpson.
I think last week was the anniversary of that episode,
was it?
actually. I think so.
That's fantastic.
However many years it is, 30 years now or whatever it was coming up to. This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. The difference is Clear the Hard Seltzer that started the wave, made with refreshingly real flavors for their iconic taste. Matt Iwanyk, GrumpyCat, Joaquin Gage with us here. Oilers last night, I guess.
Well, okay.
Good. Oh.
Just first, your episode a couple weeks ago, last week with Ron Lowe.
Last week.
Amazing. I really enjoyed the two goalies talking and like the perception that you give and the stuff like that. And like, you know, being a child in the 90s and like I only knew Ron Lowe as a coach.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But when you were talking about how goalies the mindset doesn't change. You can't just go in neutral. Like, you know, if you're a forward or a defenseman, you can just coast once in a while and give up on it. And how the best saves are the ones where they hit you in the crest because there's nothing to shoot at. Now, I'll say most people that I play with can't aim, so they're hitting the crest because it's all they see. So we're just building confidence there. But when you talk about them being out of position and making those amazing saves and they're like the goalies be mad at each other, in the game last night, all I can do is whenever I watch the game and I see like Skinner jump across, and I don't know. So the one play last night where he makes the blocker save, is there a better way to play that, or are you just desperate regardless because they're making a big cross slot pass and all you can do is play the one and then get over to the other?
No, in those situations, like you don't like to be in desperate situations, right? You want to
3 saves and then jump across.
Yeah, that's those, or a loose rebound and you having to do something extra, right? Those are the types of moments in a game where you get mad at yourself. Come on, be better, essentially, in with your inner voice. But I enjoyed that mostly because when you're playing and you get to the pro level, like you're always in competition with the other guy, right? Like I had good relationships with a lot of the partners that I had with, but we never really sat down and talked about goaltending, like not technically, but also mentally and situational. You don't really do that. Sometimes you do it with your goalie coach, and depending on, I mean, there's great goalie coaches that didn't go on to pro, but sometimes when you're talking to a guy that's played at the same level, there's just the conversation can go in places that I think that you can't with other guys, right? Like I remember Pete Peters, he came in as the Oilers goalie coach. Like I think he was probably the first Oilers goalie coach. And talking to him, stylistically didn't mesh, right? But situational and different plays and the way you thought made way more sense, you know, because there's a guy that had tons of success in the NHL. But yeah, it's weird. I wonder if it's changed now where goalies actually have a discussion like Ron and I did, that we talk about things, and it was kind of reassuring that I actually knew what I was talking about when he actually agreed with what I said, you know. But he was saying things, and I was like, "Oh my God, right? Yeah." So yeah, thanks for saying that.
Well, that's one of the things where people are always afraid to talk to the goalie. Like, I'm a terrible defenseman. When I started playing men's league 10 years ago, and I never played growing up, so it was just a bunch of work guys like, "Hey, come out and play with us." And I ended up getting pushed on defense. Now I will say I've changed from the desire to score to the desire to pass. I love making a good, crisp big pass. So puck moving defenseman, terrible defenseman, but I can move the puck. Just letting you know.
As long if you're not going to skate up there and then you're just going to move the puck, then that's perfect. Then
If your
apparently,
stick's on the ice, I'll hit you. Don't worry. They can probably knock it down, but the guys I play against can't.
No, that was a lot of fun. That was good. That was he was great too. Him as a coach, like I mean, they talk about that. We talked about that series against the Stars there, where they won. And there's one story that I heard. Hitchcock came out, and I think he was talking to Ron, though. And someone was telling me this. He goes, "How did you guys beat us? Like, you should not have beat us at all. We were so much better than you." And Ryan said, he said like 97 hits or whatever in a game or something like that. And one of the reasons is Ron Lowe. Like, if I could bring that whole team in there and say what were the biggest factors of you beating that Stars team, it was our coach. He makes the old adage, run through a wall. Like, Ronnie was so intense and just such a player's coach, and it was easy to play for him. You wanted him to be happy and stuff, and it was great. He was I guarantee, of all the guys that he had, that he's coached under, they would rave about this guy because he was just a fantastic. He just understood how players kind of thought and stuff, and that translated so well as a coach.
but as you said, he probably couldn't coach in this day in NHL.
Well, he
now
was. I mean, he
with the
wasn't.
players.
He was a hard ass too. Don't get me wrong.
But
Like,
with the way players are now and all that, like he's
they'd be
and the
sucking-
analytics and all that, like
he'd
Ron,
be sucking his thumb. Like, players would be sucking their thumb in the corner. Like it would be.
he was built for the right time.
Exactly.
He coached in the right era. Like there's certain like it's Draymond Green is one of those players that now somebody threw it out there a few weeks ago. It was like he probably should have played in the late '80s, early '90s in the NBA.
Yeah.
With just how physical and vicious he is.
Yeah.
Ron Lowe though was cast in the right era of
And
hockey.
he had good guys around him too. Like Billy Moores was like a genius of hockey and everything. Like he was awesome to have around. And they just the whole coaching staff, they complemented each other. So it was good.
In a nasty chat, Berlando again saying you have a solid shot too. Surveyor Brett saying reminds me of a young Stu Barnes. so maybe a recruit for Team EST next year as well over here.
I do have some friends who like to pump my tires once in a while, and like
good shot from the point.
better than
almost
apparently.
because
It's not as hard. Like, I'm curious.
Need a shot from the point.
I
There.
like taking slap shots, and I like taking slap shots from the point. I scored a goal once. I was playing with a guy who's played a higher level than I ever have, and we were lined up for the face-off inside the zone, and I was like, "Hey man, just slide it across the blue line." He looks at me like an idiot. Like, all right, and he gets himself in trouble in the boards, and it's a play he would never make, but he's like, Matt called for it, so he makes this weird turnaround. He's got two guys on him, passes it across. I tee up a one-timer, and it gets through, but it was very low and slow. Like I missed it a little bit. And like it hits the goalie's pads, and then all of a sudden, like it's going in at 100% speed, and then all of a sudden at 20%, it's just rolling through the pads and over the line. Didn't even hit the back of the net. He's like, Matt, I can't believe you scored on that. And like I made the mistake of going back and watching the video because I thought like I just let this bomb go. Like, no, it was an absolute muffin from the point that screwed everybody. But
Called it.
Yeah.
That's what you meant to do. That's what you go with. It's like the curveball. They were expecting this hard shot. They're not expecting this little softy.
So, but yeah, once in a while I like to let one go. But when we play shinny, I keep it down because I don't want to hurt my friends' faces. So, but I'm curious to know, like, it'd be neat to set up and see how. One would be nice to like get a coach to teach you how to take a shot properly. Would be one thing. Like the way, like Matthews or anybody who can shoot the puck and just let it go, and like. Or the ability to change on the fly, like listening to the post game yesterday or the Sportsnet, like they were talking about Binnington overplayed McDavid on purpose in the overtime goal because he figures he's always going to go short side and he overplays it, then he clips the jersey on the far side and it flutters in. And like for McDavid to recognize as he's coming across where he's at and the defenseman and like that's faster than that snap to change where he might be shooting. The ability to like just lean on your talent and skill and know that you're going to let the shot go at as hard as you can. So I'm curious to know how hard I could shoot the puck. I'm not saying I'm a monster, but no Chris Pronger out there. But
Don't they have like speed guns in stores?
You could go. Well, you could. There are always those events that have.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
tee it up and they'll
Yeah.
test you. I don't know how many. Like I'm assuming Pro Hockey Life might have something.
I think they might.
The Burroughs or Ice House downtown has a shooting
have a
spot
shooting-
upstairs. I don't know how often
when
it's
you guys
open.
set up the new Shanks building with your headquarters,
We're gonna
that's
do all
something
of that.
for you.
Yeah.
Beer
That's-
league or corner.
But it's not always.
Oh, geez, we're running out of room in this place.
That's tough too because you got to put it in the right spot. Like you see when they do the hardest shot, everyone's shooting low, right? If it goes too high, it doesn't read as well for some reason.
Where's the trickiest shot for you?
Trickiest?
Yeah, to deal with as a goalie.
It was one guy in Europe that I played against. He's Canadian. His name is Danny Bousquet. It was a popcorn shooter. He couldn't shoot the puck at all. Like he'd score a lot of goals, and it would, like I said, it would barely get to the back of the net. But he would just always put it in the right spot where you had to, kind of like Connor's goal. Like everyone's saying, I thought Binnington played that really well. He took away the short side, yes. And there wasn't anything for Connor really to shoot at on the far side either. That hit him quite hard in the arm and kind of rolled over. Like that's why you saw him.
Yeah, if it hit the pad, it was going out.
I don't think. I don't know. Maybe he put topspin on it. I was the only guy I think I could
English?
put. Yeah, but I just that's why you saw Binnington kind of give it the heads way up because he did get a huge chunk of that shot and it still managed to get past him. So I think he was just like, God, I was in such good position. I didn't get, and it still hit me and it went in the net. That's why you saw him kind of look to the goalie gods in the sky.
Good homestand for the Oilers. Can it be a good homestand when you're only getting 50% of the points?
No,
Get less than 50. So
I don't think so.
Like Boston does go to OT. You
Great
win these
game.
last two. Yeah, you drop the ones maybe you shouldn't have. How do you guys look at this homestand that the Oilers just had?
I think you'd want to beat Calgary. that'd be the big one. When you guys before the homestand, you guys were talking about like what does success look like. Calgary had to be a win, regardless of what the outcome was. If you went 1-4 and beat Calgary, you can salvage that emotionally.
I think it was the type of game, because
For which one? The Calgary one?
all of them.
Oh, okay.
Just the slow starts, at the beginning, the penalty kill was quite leaky. Skinner allowing some goals that were uncharacteristic of what we saw. So there was just the result is okay, but I think the way that they played is worse than everything. It seemed to get back on track a little bit with the last two games, which is good. You're going to have little valleys, and they didn't allow. The most encouraging thing, it didn't turn into 5 losses or whatever, right? That's the big thing. They were able to get some points, get some wins back, and start feeling good about themselves going into a real tough 2 matches coming up with a team fighting for their lives, and it's always tough when you go up against Sidney Crosby.
A late game too on Sunday. 7 o'clock on a Sunday.
7 is it?
Yeah, because when McDavid and Sidney Crosby's meet for who knows how many more times moving forward. Twice a year they meet. Put it at 9 o'clock Eastern on a Sunday night.
Well, why have the 6:30 start with the Blues? And I'm not taking away anything against the Blues, but then the week prior, the Boston Bruins, and it's what was it, 10:30 back east?
I didn't see what the full schedule did, but that was the main feature on Sportsnet yesterday.
Rights.
Yeah, I know.
So national games, so it's earlier. Whereas the week prior, I could be wrong with the games, but there was a couple of, I think it was Philly Rangers or something playing.
Yeah,
so it was a double header that they built it as,
Okay.
which is, if anything, you flip these around.
Yeah.
Oilers Blues is an 8 o'clock Wednesday start for a double header. Oilers Bruins is a 6:30 start.
Exactly. Possibly even 5:30.
Ideally 6, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
the 6 Mountain, you got an hour from the people that work 9 to 5 to get to the rink still. Eastern time, 8 o'clock is just fine.
Yeah.
You put it on national TV. But no,
Can't cut those Leafs short, though.
can't get the leave short. Well, Austin Matthews is going for 7.
It's almost like they have multiple channels and you can let people decide what they want to watch.
I don't get that. You got to go right away.
I got to go.
When you go, tell Lieutenant
Okay.
Eric he'll come on.
All
in.
right.
You also stuck with me on two guys apparently today.
Awesome.
That was a very. I don't know if I'm convinced by that. Awesome that he stuck with me on two guys. I don't know. Like that was
I
a
think
little
he checked
too.
out. When you said he had to go, I think he just checked out and was like, okay.
He wasn't paying attention to what I had to say there. Like that one was just very. I don't buy that. Yeah, right there. I don't buy that quickly for him to say yes. He's with me on two guys.
He'll process it soon and then be like, oh, never mind. I got to go work from home.
I don't know. I'm unnerved by that one. Does he have something planned now or something? Is this a plan that Dusty's now not going to be able to do two guys because I'm so confused. Matt Iwanyk, GrumpyCat with you here on the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. Gager has a meeting, so he had to pop out eating his lunch.
Is it lunchtime?
It is Lieutenant Eric joining us, filling in the place of Joaquin Gage, the Uncle Ben's rice. Which kind did you get?
Jambalaya. I needed to carbo load after that hot take segment. There's a lot
Was it? When did you come
straight
up with
wins.
those takes?
during the show.
Oh, yeah?
Truth be told. Oh, yeah. I'll open it all up now. I had nothing going in. At 6 o'clock this morning, I had none. And then by 8:30 or whatever, I had 5 stellar takes.
Are you going to claim this as a 3 straight wins? Or do you
Overall,
look
it
at-
is. Overall, it is. But it's 2 in this season tournament,
Yes.
and I've just won once. My only win with the threesome during regular time. So
What was it like watching hot takes in person?
I feel like Dusty probably didn't know who I was. I was just like, who's sitting out there? Because like I didn't even realize, but Gager grabbed that stool for me to sit in and watch, and I was like, oh, that's nice of him. Shout out to Zach to come too, by the way. When he walked in, he was just like, oh, hey man. And then like he didn't even take his coat off, and he was like, do you need water? Like, do you need this, that, or the other thing? Can I get you anything? I'm like, I'm good.
isn't he a saint at the front? Like when you walk into a business, that's
Yeah.
what you wanted.
But he was like, well, no, but I was already here.
You were here, and he walks
He
in.
walked
yeah.
in, and he was the host all of a sudden, and like this. The
Not a who are
epic-
you or anything. Get out of
epic
here.
professional.
No, but here you go. What do you need?
Yeah.
A lot of people just
He
come
made
in.
the mistake of thinking I was important or something.
You're a nasty club member. All nasty. Do you actually know your number by any chance?
Number
'Cause somebody
20.
asked. You're number 20? Good
Without
for you.
you couldn't even get the question out, and he's like,
He knew it
20.
right
I love
away.
it. I love it.
I had to. So my family's been asking because I've been talking about coming on the radio, and I wasn't joking. I have a group of people that wanted to come sit and watch. They would have brought beer and they would have heckled.
Why not that happening?
Apparently,
We're
there's some
supposed to be. There
business
was
meetings.
supposed to have been a
Business
meeting and
meetings.
stuff today, but now Dusty's sick.
You were supposed to be in a meeting?
Dusty was.
Oh, I think he's still taking the meeting.
He's gone home.
I know, but he's going to do it over the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he told me.
So, but yeah. So then I've been like my family and stuff have been asking about this as well. And where do I watch? And I'm like YouTube. Like, how do I do that? And like, you're joking, right? And so I had to take a neighbor yesterday to YouTube.com and set the save page for them to open. And then I would have just done your main page, but like then they'd have to come in at 9 o'clock and hit watch live, and that was a little too much to
No, the YouTube's
navigate
perfect.
through them.
Go
Yeah.
right to
Not-
YouTube. We're good.
Not for this neighbor.
Are they in the nasty chat as well? Signed up
No.
accounts? No.
I don't know. Maybe they are today.
What's
Should have
this?
clicked subscribe.
What's this?
I pulled out the card and they were like, "You've got to be kidding me! You guys have cards?"
What is
Only a
this
certain
word
amount
there-
to.
There's a word in the nasty chat that was going around this morning on the Hangout here. What is it?
Halud.
Halud. What is? Have you done the story?
We
yet?
talked about that.
Oh.
It's connected to
Tombstone. So
And he didn't know what
I
it
was
was.
late to the party watching Tombstone.
Halud.
So I always thought when you guys were playing that thing that you'd be like Halud, and I'm like, cool,
Who's
yeah,
Halud?
hurrah. And then
Do you think it was like a person, like a guy named Halud or from the show?
no, I thought it was more of like a courageous like
like a
hurrah, rah, rah type.
Yeah.
But then you watch the movie, and in the context of the show, it makes way more sense.
And the first time you saw it all just.
And you know what? As much as people have ripped on me for not having seen Tombstone, and then you guys bringing Tombstone and all the clips and the soundboard
Yeah.
and all that other stuff, I gotta say, getting the experience of all of the clips and then watching the movie, you're just like, oh, that's great.
They
Yeah,
hit,
that's great.
and
Yeah,
it's a
that's
movie
great.
full. It is just like it's a perfect clip movie because it's just those one-off one-liners all the time. But you hear them now in the movie, and it's like it's happening on its own. Like you can just
Tombstone
isolate.
was on the TV before the Super Bowl,
Mm.
and I was at my aunt's and uncle's house, and my parents were in town, and some of them had seen the movie, some of them hadn't. And so I was talking about how it's a part of the morning show and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
my aunt got up and said something to me, and I turned and I said, "That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me." And my uncle just starts dying laughing, and my aunt was so offended.
You could carry on a whole conversation with just quotes.
10 minutes later, it showed up in the movie. They're like, "Oh."
You
Still have yet to see it. Still have yet to see it.
Yeah, it's
So-
disappointing. It's taken over Creed on Tuesdays, though. That's kind of the trade-off. That's the
actually,
thing.
that's very true.
We shed some skin. 1260 Creed Tuesday. I mean, that was a thing. We had a shirt. Now
throw-
it's nobody even mentions Creed anymore.
I'll throw this out to everyone. I'm not saying I'm going to watch either. That's just who I am. But what would I have to watch first? The Goonies or Tombstone Tuesday?
Tombstone.
Or Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Well, you've never seen Goonies. You don't count.
Right. So that's my vote.
Have you seen Goonies?
I haven't seen Goonies.
Okay, well, I guess I'm throwing that to the nasty chat. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not. There's a good chance I won't see either still. But if I had to watch one, which one would it be?
Just to make it clear, I'm not watching any of them. But if why
Tombstone's
not?
a good Western, though. Like,
It is a
was
good Western,
It was
yeah.
a good movie.
Joking aside, like it's a star-studded
I'm not
cast.
the biggest Western guy. I don't
You
know.
aren't, hey?
But then,
I did like
that's-
Jeremiah
to the-
Johnson.
But to that point, though, if you're going to watch a Western, that's not a bad one to watch. I'm not saying go watch every Western and compare them all together, but
Little long in the running time. You know, don't plan anything. It's a full day event.
I do kind of like, though, not knowing. Like when you guys do things, not knowing the bits.
There is fun in that too.
There's an
Ignorance is
innocence
bliss.
to me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but I think, that's funny for whatever reason.
I think people would welcome back Creed, though. But it's all a rights thing, right?
At the moment,
the whole,
it is.
It's the whole thing, right?
It's
Like to all the people like myself as listeners who are like when you guys were talking about like music coming back and stuff like that and how it's all well, you guys would even just say it, royalty free music library.
yeah.
So because you don't have
But you're
It's the
from
YouTube.
You're a 1260 at heart back in the day, right? Like you've the Creed Tuesdays, you've lived them, you've cried them, you've
well, I don't
breathed
know
them.
if you remember my claim to fame part of the radio show was I'm the one who brought you those He-Man DVDs and CDs
Yes, for the Rashog intro.
way back in the day
Yes,
for the Rashog
yes,
intro.
and it had the nice casing and everything.
Yeah.
That was a big play.
And that was a long time ago.
But if you can't answer me honestly, and just honestly, because Dustin's not in the room,
He's not here?
do you like Creed?
I've slow danced to Creed in my junior days.
Sure, we all have, but you.
I enjoy Creed once in a while, but it's not one of my like go-to road trip CDs.
Like I hate them. But it's the bit, right? Like we're all Creed. Like, but I did. Truth be told, again, we're kind of confessing here.
But
But,
you guys always pick the hits though, right? So
That's true, not the deep.
everyone can hate a band.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone hates Nickelback, but when 2 or 3 of their bangers come on,
oh,
Photographs
everybody knows
on,
it. They're
everyone's
very
happy.
popular. Yes.
everyone's knows
Burn
what
it to
you're
the
talking
ground.
about.
You're
not
pumped.
You're
But I
not
guess in the
playing
days like that 90s, late 90s, early aughts metal, like I couldn't stand them. And then times went on. Like I appreciate the hits.
well, they're a Christian rock band too, aren't they?
They are, and Scott Stapp kind of went
when
off
you
the
start-
rails there
when
with
you
his
start-
funny.
so when
pirate
you
shirt
start-
after a while.
Because like as a kid, I don't know, music never spoke to me in certain ways
Sure.
that it does to other people. It's just a beat and words.
Sure.
And sure,
On the surface and-
some
yeah.
lyrics you get once in a while, but once I heard that and you start listening to lyrics, you're like, just like we were talking about the what do we call that? What do you call that second rap song that they put together for you? The hail.
What say you?
What say you?
Oh,
Nasty Crew?
okay, yeah. John T. and Victoria.
Yeah, Jaunty. And you start listening to that and you get all the little tidbits and
Yeah.
you got to listen to it 18 times
A lot to unpack.
to
Yeah.
really figure out and pay attention to it. But yeah, it's.
Is that like you and Creed though? You were dissecting like messages in
But
the
you'd start
in the
to
message.
like when you would listen to a song, you'd start to like pick up the lyrics because
Yeah.
now you're paying attention and
Yeah.
trying to-
Well, I didn't even like they can be like their whole, but I just like the whole. It was just at a time where it was all kind of worn out. Do you know what I mean? Like it was kind of around that time, like the Creeds and it was kind of a lot of that, like.
See, what was great is eventually me, JMO, and Tide countered it with Twang Tuesday.
I love Twang Tuesday.
And it was
That's
the
my
best. That
now
was our
you're
like
talking.
complete counter
I'd be
to
into
it.
that.
Love
Was
it.
we're playing
Love it.
Conway Twitty, all that stuff. And yes,
But
so
yeah,
that
so I
was
don't
my
know.
full counter.
I don't know if schools do dances or anything anymore, but like
sure
when I
they
was in
do.
junior high and high school, the last song was always Creed.
Why though?
With
Why
arm-
that?
with
Arms wide open. Is
I
there
think that
was there a
was always-
reason?
I don't
Because
know.
you'd have your arms
That
on
was
your
just
partner.
the
And
slow
you,
dance
get-
to end the no. That was just the slow dance to end the song, or
Weird.
end the slow song to end the dance.
keeping with old musical styles, for us it was always like a Savage Garden hit. One of their 3 or 4, but that would always be kind of the.
I really enjoyed Savage Garden on the old show too because it brought
Oh.
back my childhood in terms of like we had like 5 CDs at home, and I only listened to country music.
Mm-hmm.
But the music I didn't listen to that wasn't country, was Savage Garden and the Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. That's
Those
an
were the two
eclectic mix.
CDs. Those were the two CDs that weren't country in my house growing up that I could listen to. So yeah, I have an eclectic. I went to HMV once. HMV's a store that used to sell CDs.
It's kind of coming back in Toys R Us.
For what? Selling
I was
CDs.
in a Toys R Us buying a gift, and they're at one location, North End, 97th Street. They've started like redoing a portion of it that says even HMV, and they have records, and they're bringing.
So the brand HMV is in there, like a little,
like, do you know how, like
nook.
Zellers is back in the Bay?
Yeah.
It's like Toys R Us is bringing back HMV.
Interesting.
The body's not. That's not even that long ago.
Oh, it's been a while.
No, not that long though. Like really?
I would say
Maybe
I want to guess over 5 years.
Well, for sure over 5.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
what's-
still,
when's-
you can't really. The brand is still like. I'm talking
Because it
20
is a
years.
UK
here.
thing too. So as of Feb 2024, it still operates in United Kingdom, Ireland, Japan, Belgium, as well as having concessions in Toys R Us in Canada.
Concessions in Toys R
That's
Us.
what they're
Wow,
called.
we are here. I can't
it's
wait till the
owned by
last one.
Their parent company, Sunrise Records.
There you go. Now we're getting
That's
to the
what
bottom
it
of this.
was.
Aha.
So Sunrise bought a bunch of HMVs, and that's why they took over the HMV in West End, the 2 floors, which is it
Well,
gone or is it just one
they
floor
took it
now?
over everywhere. Sunrise was in all the malls and is in all the malls.
So then when did HMV
But they
go
also
away?
kind of like flipped back to
2019.
a lot more records. Like records in the last for however long have been making
Oh
it
yeah,
come back.
and
too, right?
CDs.
So-
Well, I assume one of these days will.
Well, CD. The tough thing about
I know
CDs,
the laser.
though,
That's the whole.
the tough thing about CDs though is no cars make them anymore,
Yeah.
right?
But
can't-
you know, for at home, like classically now when we're of age, you could be like, I found my old CD collection. I'll dust this. I found an old CD, but when you blow it off and you entertain your friends, I still like the sound on tape, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
that's top of the charts.
April 2017, HMV closed in Canada, and it's the revival was just literally this month.
But it's not
It's
like the
the
real
revival.
one. Then it's like a
Well, it's this logo. And
Frankenstein
they're going
type of-
inside. It's just not going to be a full store, but it's going to be a portion of the store inside of a store.
It's like somebody buying the rights and rebranding it their way.
yeah.
certain-
So
It's the
but
same
it's like,
logo.
but it's not the OG.
You bought the
eh?
logo. You bought the.
You're not going to go and put on the headset,
My points card won't work
and start
anymore.
listening to it and all of
Yeah.
that. All those points. But yeah, no. So HMV is making this comeback.
I'm here for it.
Now, just quickly on the music, I will say this: it's the YouTube that ruins it for us. We could probably have music pretty quickly. It wouldn't be hard if we were just audio only.
Okay.
But it's the YouTube rights where the video would get locked down and shut down and copyrights that I'm trying to navigate to see if one day we can.
Which
bring the
was
music
already
in.
happening in Turkmenistan with the Game of Thrones, right? Like we can't if you're living
Russia.
in like Russia, is that what it is?
Whenever we do the
You can't
Tales of
watch
the North,
Tales of the North.
it gets blocked in Russia after because of
Flagged, eh?
copyright for that song.
So is that like international rules you have to navigate, or just like Canadian broadcasting rules? And
Well, it's a few things. I haven't had time. I need to sit down and make the call to someone to talk to them about it. But there's licensing per country. So in Canada, there's I think 2 outfits that control the licensing in this country. In the US, it's like 3. In the UK, there's some and all that. So I don't know. I think I need licenses in all those countries to broadcast in those countries. I don't know which license I fully need, how much. Is there a blanket one I can get that could
'Cause
just
rules-
cover all of that?
rules are different in every country too, right?
Yes.
But with YouTube being so open to everybody, if
And-
you were in the States and you went to EST.com, that's kind of more of a niche path to get to what you're listening to as a local broadcast. But
It would be really nice if YouTube just kind of created a thing where you could pay for it, and it pays the royalties to the right people, and you could just subscribe through YouTube of I'm going to pay for this.
What if we opened an HMV Nook here at EST Studio, and then we could use that because they have the licensing to. And we could, yeah. You see,
I'm trying
And
to
just
find
play
a way.
CDs.
I need to just make the call. Like I don't know, like because like I said, it's very easy to do the audio one, snap of a finger. I'm still trying to figure if that works for the YouTube, because if it does, then it's gonna be easy. We'll just put that on.
we just redact the stream while we play something. Black screen.
well, it is
There'd be
weird.
no audio.
It is
No
You
audio,
still
no
show
nothing.
things.
Show nothing.
Well, it is funny. Like when you guys were playing clips and stuff, and Zach Tacoma was talking about. I came in here one morning and they're doing interviews. There's no speaker in here. It's not like you walk in here and hear the show in your
Like
lobby
the
or
old place,
anything.
it was all hooked up and yeah.
So
it's-
he was talking about it, and we noticed it waiting for the Nielsen show to end. But you guys will be playing clips or something, and it's just dead silent in here.
Yeah.
because no one's talking or doing anything. Like
And at the old place, silence was a sign of, oh my
hated
God,
silence.
something's
I hate it
happening.
here,
Because
too.
you'd always have something on, as you mentioned. Yeah, the the
You don't
stuff
even
going
have,
on
you guys
air.
don't even have an on-air sign.
No, we
a
haven't
clock.
got there yet.
I mean, we'll get
But
there.
no, it's like it is actually, that is something that's bothered me about here. Like I want to create like a speakers that we just plug into, and whoever's here first clicks play.
Yeah, the silence
and
is-
it just runs at all times in the main area because it is.
Well, then
I'm
Gager
used to
can't
being at the
watch-
radio station where it
Yeah.
is. You don't want silence.
No.
It either means the bear is off the air, Virgin Radio's off the air, we're off the air, all of us are off the air. It's never a good sign when you got silence.
But
Also,
then
I've
Gager
real.
can't watch F1 qualifying
You could, well, of course you
or
can.
practices because
course
he'd have
you
to
can.
turn
I felt
down.
so bad
the
that he had to
show.
come in this morning to do
It's-
that. That's why he
it's-
left early, right? Like,
It's one of those where you just needed a nice quiet level, just so you know that there's noise, just so you know that there's something happening. That's all you need, and
Well,
you
I'm
can
sure
always
you
turn
guys,
it off.
you guys can probably hear it in your headphones, right? You guys are.
Oh
listening to
yes,
it.
Yeah.
But it's like when I'm working in my office because I'm down the hall, it could be just silence, and then like Dusty will do, like let's say 2 guys, and Gager and Cass are on location. Dusty will ask his question, then it's just silence. So you hear half a conversation, and
Just
it's,
enough for you to be like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you're good. Okay."
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
actually that's the thing I need to figure out how to get a live feed of this because YouTube is delayed from what we're doing. So Dusty will ask a question. If we have it on the TV, 20 seconds later we hear Dusty asking the question. So you're hearing it twice. And it's very awkward.
I do love his delayed bust into a hangout anytime you guys say something and then 30 seconds later, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't know what he's figured out. He did that yesterday.
Yeah, and you're already 2 topics
So
down
that
the
actually
line.
is a good idea. I just got to find a way to get a live feed of that one. Actually, that shouldn't be too hard. That's future. Maybe that's the plan for 4 years from now. We have those
4
live
years,
feeds.
leap year plan, yeah. On-air lights
We're going
and
through that.
speakers.
I like that. Yeah, it's very quiet sometimes, and the radio station shouldn't be quiet.
No, not at
Also,
all.
I've realized I'm out of touch with like pop music. I was thinking about this lately because I don't listen to pop music as much.
You
Uh-huh.
got the wrong guy here for that. My
But-
brother put music on in the car.
Oh,
a
Mr.
couple years
Savage
ago, and
Garden
I'm
here,
like,
come
"What
on.
is
Get
this?"
It was because we'd be at 1260.
Well,
and
you're a
by
big
my
Virgin guy. You like Virgin
but
radio, you.
I don't mind some of the pop music, but by where my office was at the old place was by the Bear, so I always heard the Bear music. So I love rock, so I knew if they played something new, I could hear it. By 1260 was the Virgin speakers because we never had TSN pumped in the station.
No.
In the building was split in half on the speakers. One half was Bear, one half was Virgin, and TSN got nothing.
Well, we did it in the atrium a few times in the
We did
main
get the
lobby there,
atrium.
down with all the important people.
But so at 1260 or in the men's bathroom, you got Virgin Radio. So
Yeah.
I would hear pop music and I would know kind of what's new and what's current and what I'm hearing a lot of. And now I haven't heard, like, I don't know what's
You're
new.
out of the loop.
I don't know what's new.
You're totally out of the
It's
loop.
been like 8 months.
You've aged.
I'm completely-
Now, yeah, you're an old man.
I'm going to have to just throw on Virgin Radio again just
I
to
think-
figure out what's going on.
What happened in here is to beat the silence.
Around your old offices, if it wasn't listened to, like, did a lot of people because there's a lot of people that work there, obviously.
There was.
Did a lot of people live or listen to 1260, or would there be jokes going around from bits from the show and everybody just sitting there clueless in a boardroom meeting?
Like from other
corporate-
stations?
like-
No,
from,
from
like,
our
your-
building, like
the
when we
bits
had this.
from-
So the thing is, we never had real meetings with everyone.
Oh, boy. We're getting-
So I'll go there.
We're getting
I'm always curious about the inner workings of
the
corporate.
thing
Yeah, I
is-
love it. No, I
different
love
things.
it.
There were people that would throw us on their computer in that building to listen to us as opposed to listening to the other two. I knew that. I remember Cam in traffic downstairs always had us on. She loved listening to us.
Well, a lot of the CTV guys behind the scenes were obsessed.
yes. So if you wanted to, like, there was a fair amount of people that knew what
So
was
you
going
guys
on
weren't
TSN.
this niche little
No.
joke.
Oh, no,
Like,
no,
people
no,
there listening. and all, like
Higher as you got higher up the chain,
Like you'd say
there'd be
Creed
less
Tuesday.
that would happen.
Yeah.
The people like
We had the grunts.
the
It was
regular-
Jess Jackson
the
from the Bear was a big fan of what you
Jess
guys did
Jackson,
in the
yeah,
morning
yeah,
show.
Absolutely, yeah. But I
the
mean,
regular-
they're, all the guys from CTV that would like run cameras and like you
Yeah.
know guys you wouldn't see or really
Yeah.
know or hear of for any reason. But some of our biggest boosters came from like the
On the
bottom of
warehouse
building.
floor, basically type thing.
Yeah.
We were known.
trying to explain
As you
to-
go to the boardrooms, less known.
Yeah,
they
trying to-
knew we were there,
Yeah,
but they didn't know what
the
we were doing.
bourgeoisie crowd
Gotcha.
was not really into it so much as the common man. And
Yeah, that
woman.
makes, you know what, I think that translates to like every corporation of how do managers trying to figure out how to make employees happy or what are people into, and you're like, stop trying to think about it. Just go ask them and tell them to figure it out.
Open your eyes and kind of
Yeah,
see
just
what's.
go be surprised by everyone being happy all of a sudden because we're listening to Creed on Tuesdays for some weird reason.
It's a good point though. That's
Like I bet you, because I'm curious. Like that's just an extreme example, but like so in our office, like we do stretches every day and stuff like that.
yeah.
And big, which a lot of companies do. And if we just played Creed on Tuesdays, maybe I'll start doing this because it would be hilarious. But a few people would get it, but not everybody.
But even if you don't get it, and that's the thing, like even I admitting I don't like them at all, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Like,
But you'd recognize the joke and be like,
yeah,
this is
it's
funny.
like, oh, this is what is this? But it's you're smiling or you're laughing, you're feeling good, and then that leads to productivity.
You guys do corporate stretches?
Yeah.
Is that for work, like to help you with your job, or just
to
it's
get
their thing of synergy type?
You're talking
that
actual
feels-
stretching your body, right?
bit-
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not
like-
thinking of like work,
like
like you're on
Mr.
for 2 and on
Burns-
1 off or whatever.
Oh, no,
Mr. Burns brings everyone outside to do their
One
stretches.
high,
Everyone,
yeah.
That's what you guys do.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
it's a chance
That's fascinating.
To
It's
talk
great stuff.
about, like, Mondays are always good because you get a quick little round table of it only takes 5 minutes. It's basically one song. We have a speaker, and then you get a chance to talk to somebody who you don't work beside necessarily.
Who leads
but-
the charge here at EST for this? You, Dusty, and YouTube Trev in the morning come in on Monday, and you have to do stretches for a couple minutes.
I don't mind it at all. We're always coming in here and complaining that we're like, have you gone like full? Is it full Google where you like show up and you go down a slide and then you work in a hammock and
I think we want to be Google, but then when you show what Google really does, you're like, oh, never mind.
no, not the end
Oh,
result. Just
a breakfast bar for free for everybody? No. Oh, a nap room? No.
it's all great in theory.
What's
but,
wrong with the nap room?
Well, I have nothing against a nap room, but just imagine a giant corporate business
Signing
being like,
off on
can
the nap
everyone have a
room."
nap at 1 o'clock? No.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because Dusty wants to take your aunt's old spot and take it over at EST and put his nap emporium in there.
Yeah.
Hey, and they, well, you guys have a different schedule anyway, but yeah, that's definitely one of the things that you could do.
First the floor and then Shanks.
There's even a little closet back there. I think it would fit like a cot.
Perfect.
We're not going to let the people know, though, that we're just going to take it over.
Not at all.
We're just going to do it and see
I'll
what
see
happens.
I'll see if I can get a key for it.
They've done some renos in there, I think.
Oh, really?
The people from downstairs were up doing some stuff, and I have no idea what went on in there. There's some
you guys-
I don't
late
wanna
working.
know.
There was
Have
some
you guys
late night
figured
working.
out what the spa is downstairs here?
What's the Russian
Synergy?
spa?
Yeah. Like I've searched Banya online, and there's a great GIF in our
They have a
chat.
group chat at work
We have a group
of
chat at
just
work.
nasties.
so all the people. who
I've
listen to
heard
the
of
morning
this.
show-
I've heard of this. Like the big hitters. Like we're talking like
No. This is his work.
No.
Has
From
their own-
on our
this-
work.
fellow
you're-
employees.
You're thinking.
Well, I'm thinking if there's this box
there's
pounder,
one with
Bones chat, they're all in there.
There's one with the
heavy hitters.
menopause Nick and tube socks.
Yeah.
Like there's that one. No, this is at their work.
Okay, my
No,
apologies.
They have a
employees,
chat, a corporate chat, and
people who
they've
listen.
created a side one that's of just nasties.
Yeah.
Survey of Brett
So-
part of that?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Sure is. He's a big talker on there too.
when isn't he a big talker?
Exactly.
Big name.
So
But your membership number 20?
that's it.
What's
Yeah.
his? Probably. not.
He's 100 something, I think.
Ooh, that's smarts.
I think.
I was really hoping to get numbers. I didn't know if we could like request numbers when we signed up, which would have been you can't do that because then everybody wants the same number.
It's-
Yeah, there'd be so many requests for
98.
69.
Well, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I forgot who got 69.
But I was waiting, and I even waited a day, I think, or later in the evening. I was like, oh, this is going to be a huge hit. But again, caller number 9, please.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
do
yeah.
you do? Dial right away
Yeah,
or wait
yeah.
3 seconds?
Yeah.
So the thing I'm trying to figure out with that for next
I
year.
love how you
and I think-
strategized. That is
So
top marks.
Some people are very happy with their numbers.
Yeah.
And I feel like I also want to go like whoever doesn't renew next year,
Uh-oh.
what happens to those numbers? And I
on the
want to
market.
bump everyone up. But also I feel like there's some people that are happy with their number that I think I'm going to approach everyone and be like, do you want to be bumped up or do you want to stick with your number?
Why don't you just have a free agent list? And if you want to choose, you can instead of forcefully bumping everybody up, you just have a list of available numbers every year, like available jersey numbers type of thing in a way. And then you can,
That'd
if
be a
you
little
want,
tough
you,
though because
you pay,
because the problem would be
$50,
is the case of,
$100.
like you go and say who wants to just keep their number, and then what's the order of who gets to choose first? And if somebody jumps from their number, then that number goes into the pool, and then I got to re-update.
Sounds like a Zach job.
Numbers go up to infinity, right? Why do you have to bump anybody at all? Like if I
Because I don't want numbers
if
to
I
be-
cancel my membership next year, just number 20 doesn't exist anymore.
You retire.
then I
You
can't-
retire with your number. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't mind
I
that
don't know.
either.
That's that's a struggle you have to deal with.
I know. That's something I'm gonna have to now figure out as we move forward into 2024-25 season of that. So
Yeah, because it would be weird 3 years from now walking in getting let's say number 1 or something, right? Like maybe
For
there's
you?
no, just in general. Like
If somebody
5
walks
years
in,
from
yeah.
now, whoever number 1 is,
Well, but that
gives
also
it up.
says that
and then Zach
you've stuck around.
Zach Tacum graduates, gets a real job, and then can
Yes.
afford to become a nasty member. And all of a sudden, he's ironically number 1 5 years into.
But maybe you
No,
attach a little.
you don't get. You don't take that. Like that's where it's like.
Oh,
it's,
you're just going to shuffle the existing
everyone
people
shifts
up.
up. Yeah, no. It's like, okay, Tube Socks is number
okay.
1. Tube Socks says, I hate EST. You guys suck. I'm not renewing.
Sounds like Tube Socks.
I go to number 2 and go, do you want to stick at number 2 or do you want to go to number 1?
So it's not just coming in.
No. Whoever's new comes to the back end.
Oh, that's
and you
smart.
have to earn your way
So if I'm
up.
number like 7, I'm looking at like strategically
You guys
rubbing
are-
out 1 to 6 so I can
If
kind
you
of
want
climb the
one,
ladder. You know what I mean? Like,
or, but like, I don't know, Dean Belanger has number, I forgot, 14 or something, but he really likes his number. Or maybe I forgot which
okay.
one. He likes the number. I remember when he got it, he's like, this, and he told us a meaning behind why it works for him. So does he want to stick
He's
with
the
that
option
number? Or does he say, like, okay, well, 2 people in front of him dropped
Well,
out.
you
Do
got
you
to
want to
give the
jump up
option,
to?
though. There's definitely people.
option.
'cause
Well, that's-
I'm not going to want to bump up. Like,
Yeah.
why would you want to change the number that you have? I could
And
see
that's-
some people wanting
and
to,
that's-
but like I'd want 69, so I'd have to
Well, you
drop
can't
down
drop
a bunch
down.
and then go up. Right?
but if you could buy the 69, hey, just a momentary.
Well, I guess you want to know something. If you
stack them and rank them.
if that person who ever has 69 could keep it, but they could also maybe tell me if anyone wants it, put it up
I
for
think
bids.
it's open
I would
season. If you wanna
I would-
trade
anyone
numbers-
knows something- if you want to trade,
Involve a third party?
You could keep all the money, like 69, like whoever's number 69, maybe puts it up for bid. And
Yeah.
if
I
I,
like
have
that.
to do the thing, EST will take a 5% cut, but you can keep 95% of it. If you put it up for
Retain
sale,
a bit.
we could switch. We can make trades in that sense.
I'm just excited for the golf tournament next year. Now, when you
This
guys,
year.
did you talk about that on the show yet?
Like, are we talking?
Have you announced that?
We
to
announced
the
it this
Hangout?
morning.
No, to the Hangout people. I don't think you've.
Well, you
mentioned
better
it on
have
the
been
Hangout yet.
listening, but we have to get to that.
Yeah, how dare you guys listen to this show and not the Nielsen
But
show?
you say next year's golf tournament?
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you
so
say next year, are you
second-
meaning?
no,
Are you
no.
mean the first annual or the second annual?
Okay.
Inaugural.
The inaugural.
So this year.
But just trying to figure out who's got the number that you want and just start pinging golf balls up tee boxes to the wrong people.
Well, yeah, I'm saying rub them all out. Do it at the ranch.
Wow, let's not get some ratchet trouble here.
Well,
What
no,
GrumpyCat is saying, this is the
EST
EST
golf
Hangout
tournament, rubbing out at the
presented by White Claw. Iwanyk, GrumpyCat, Lieutenant Eric with you here. Announced today, save the date. Details coming over the next few weeks, maybe late March, maybe early April. I'll have full details on everything coming out. But the first annual EST Golf Classic taking place at the Ranch Golf and Country Club, July 9th, 2024, morning tee time. So I think shotgun for that then typically, is it 8 or 9? I always forget. I think maybe 8 o'clock. But that we'll be doing at the Ranch Golf and Country Club. And yeah, again, keep it locked to EST, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, all of our social medias, because the date is now set. July 9th of this year will be the first annual EST Golf Class.
Book the date regardless. Plan for 8. If it's 9, cool. And just
What's the morning?
On your end, just get it all set now. We
Lock it
can't
in.
guarantee you'll but now you...
Well,
you
it's not.
no, but you know what I'm
keep
saying.
saying qualifying.
No, but we can't... Not everybody can get in.
no.
No. So we're going to have... There's
There
a
might be a
process.
couple of
There's a process.
qualifying.
But I'm just saying, book the time, get the date, figure that out on your end now, and then away you go.
So you guys figured out or talked about, or have you guys worked any details out? Are you
I have things going in my head about it.
so like does
And I've
everybody
talked
get
to
to
some people.
does everybody get to golf with an EST employee, or
No.
the 4 of you are going to golf
That's not-
together and laugh at everyone else?
No, so that
bringing
those
in
details
some-
will come later.
You bringing in some,
one, we do not have that many EST members.
You bringing in well, but
But no, so like it won't be like it will be a little different than the 1260 golf tournament. There won't be celeb paired with every single grouping or anything like that. But there will be an opportunity for some people to golf with certain people. I will say that. Otherwise, it will just be like a normal golf tournament. You could book.
like I suppose you
Pay
guys
for
still
a
have to work
foursome.
on it. But like, are you going to get other your connections? Obviously, right? Any Oilers or things like that who might be able to come along with you guys, or I don't know how any of that.
All
Not
that has
necessarily
to be
Oilers,
planned.
but
This is all
different.
like early planning days. So
Okay.
I don't know how many will go.
Jumping the
Like
gun on
first
you,
one, like
sorry.
it's look. We've done golf tournaments in the past, but we didn't run those golf tournaments in
No,
the past.
and-
So
and
it's,
near
it's
the
about
end,
getting
those-
this off the ground and doing some things. But like, yeah, there will be opportunity for some groups to have members of EST or some other people golf with them, and then others it will just be foursomes.
just book your
Foursomes and
foursome
great
and-
time, and hopefully we have stuff on holes and great activations as they call it, and a wonderful little lunch and some prizes. So
cool.
those details will come, and I think Dusty's mentioned it earlier today on the
Golf
Nielsen show
tournaments
as
are
well.
always fun. We had ours at the ranch last year
Yeah.
too for the first time.
They
They used
run-
to be somewhere else. Now we're at the ranch, and you're right. The ranch puts on a good tournament.
Where were you guys before?
Sandpiper.
Okay, yeah.
They
Same,
were
kind of same
good.
end of town and stuff.
Yeah, same end of town. I don't know what changed, but we didn't do one since the pandemic, so it's been 4 or 5 years.
Just like us.
Yeah.
Just like us. But I do believe we will have a little bit of an opening. A window will open first for Nasty Club members to book their
As
spots in the
it should.
tournament. So I just got to work all those details out now and figure this all out. So, but we wanted the date just out there, July 9th, 2024. The first annual EST golf tournament, golf classic.
Wait till you guys get big enough to run double tournaments. One in the morning and then one in the afternoon.
Actually, someone did throw out there once that there should just be a Nasty Club tournament and then a bigger tournament another day. Which you could do smaller. You could do smaller tournaments.
I don't know.
But
how
I
you
don't know
guys-
if
What about
2
3?
tournaments in a day. The one thing I'll say.
Well, they run.
Oh
that's what
boy,
they-
the boys would be.
But that's what they run out there. Like our,
they could-
our
they-
tournament was right after
Yeah.
another tournament.
Well, no, the ranch has last year. There was a day I think they did 5 tournaments in one day.
5.
Yes. So some of them they're not full tournaments, so they're able to do front 9, back 9 starts.
Oh, gotcha.
And I think maybe 5, and I know for sure 4. Then I thought Murray once said they did a 5, but they pump out tournaments there. And yeah, if you do full tournaments, they'll do 2 tournaments in a day. 100. What is it?
144.
44?
Sounds like
Yeah.
a great number. Of
36 by
participants.
4. Do that math. And I don't want to, so I think it's 144.
I have a
Somewhere.
calculator
Sure.
at my desk.
150.
I love golf tournaments. They're just
Would you be able to
They're-
do 2 in a day?
us.
I know you personally. I don't know how you
Oh,
golf.
easily.
Because
I'm not great.
there was a free beer hole and a free shot hole at our tournament. I don't know if I'd be able to do 2 tournaments.
So this past year, I did a tournament with a buddy and two of other people who are basically ringers for us. We did the 18 holes. It's a very booze-friendly tournament. And then we all decided to do another 9 on our own. So I think I could do 2 tournaments. I think I'd be able to get it.
You did set a record the other summer in rounds played in the city.
Well,
Personal record.
yes, a personal one. That was actually a number of years ago now. But no, like because I understand what you're saying. Where with all the extra drinking and the extra stuff.
Yeah,
couldn't
can you walk through the second tournament? Or are you like just a passenger rolling around to the golf ball?
I could play 36 holes. I think 2 back-to-back tournaments.
And that's a question
Easily.
for you too. That's not.
Oh, I don't golf.
He wouldn't be able to.
I could caddy. I'll
couldn't caddy
caddy
2 of them.
I'll caddy 6 tournaments in a day if you,
You
want.
couldn't caddy 2 of them.
How come?
You want to be a caddy in our group?
I think
How
you.
come, Matt?
Can we sign you up now?
You would have.
Caddy in our group.
You'd have so much fun
Surveyor Brett would be happy.
that you would have so much fun the first one. You wouldn't want to be around for a second one.
But caddying, it comes with it a responsibility that I have to let the players know. You know, the wind and the lie, right? The lie is that's.
I don't know.
Do you golf?
I'm not a good
I'm
golfer
not
either.
good.
I have clubs. I
No,
should.
I will purchase the painter's suit.
Wow, Tube Socks is here.
Hello, does he want to?
That is
Heard
so
you-
random.
He heard you call him out.
Yeah,
Giving
that
up
was
on-
really random.
Giving up in 3 years.
No, I'll be there caddying. It'll be fun. Can't wait.
So I should also say when we were talking about like hockey earlier, I have and like Brulando pointed out that I have a deceptively good shot. I was telling him like
Do you?
he was talking about recruiting people for the tournament
Yeah,
next year.
ringers. Yeah.
And that, I'm not a good defenseman, but I can pass the puck, so maybe I should try to play for you guys.
Stay
But-
at home.
Yes. Well, I can't get up into the play, or I'm turning around coming back. And I can't skate backwards. So
That's-
that doesn't help.
So
my
just don't go
defensive
up.
Play. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stay.
That's the
Just
perfect. That's what we need.
stand.
We need more stay-at-home defense.
Perfect. I'm happy to just pass it to Gazzola and let him go do his thing. I heard he's a really good hockey player.
He played defense with Dusty this past weekend, and he didn't score a goal. Dusty did score a goal, but they did also give up some goals.
Everyone wants to be an Evan.
Adam
So-
said
Nobody
that
wants to be a Vincent.
Dusty's deceptively good. Like, not deceptively good. That's the wrong way to put it. But like, just kind of surprised him at how good he was with his hands and stuff for being such a tall guy and stuff like that.
I think people don't realize that when they look at Dusty that
Oh, he can move.
he's better out there than I think you're looking at
But he
base
was
size wise.
dangling and roofing it. Like his goal apparently was like this sweet dangle through the slot and then shelf, which is quite the everybody wants to do that, but not everyone can.
I certainly can.
But
No.
in warm up one time, I broke glass with a slap shot.
Did you
Ruined
really?
the
That's
ice time.
something to be.
That's a great accomplishment.
So everyone was mad at me, but no one else that I know has ever done that. So
Why? Because it delayed? Because of the
well, yeah,
delay
we had
to
to
change
go.
it?
It was just shinny, but we had to go play half ice on the far side. because it was a city rink. They got it fixed by the time the next ice time started, but
That's pretty
it
good.
shattered.
Yeah, but like how
And
many
fell
times?
down on
It'd
the
be
ice.
like how cool would it be to go and try to dunk in the net and shatter the net?
Yeah.
It'd be a great feeling.
It was fantastic. I was smiling the entire time. Everybody was pissed off.
It's because they're jealous.
Yeah.
That's what
In the
that one
moment.
came down to.
In the moment.
That was not they're upset because we have to play half ice. They're jealous that they didn't get it done.
Exactly. A lot of comments about not hitting the net, but
Yeah, but they didn't break the
it doesn't
glass, though.
sound good when you hit the net. That's why you shoot it at the glass. It sounds good that way. My brother played with me on our men's league team a bunch of years ago, and his girlfriend was out watching men's league, which is always a good time watching men's league. And during warm-ups, I'd go around and I'd always shoot it at her at the glass. And she had her parents with her. She's like, "Man, that guy sucks." And she's like, "No, that's Matt.
See, what you're missing here is
That's Matt,
yeah,
and he's being annoying."
he's punking you.
Mats are never annoying, ever.
That's true.
Let's just stick with that right now. Matt's the greatest.
And you know what? It really pisses people off when we're right all the time.
Do you also know what the meaning of Matthew is?
It's a gift from God.
Damn right. God gave us as gifts to the world.
I'm not debating.
That one is.
Look, I understand, boys. I
love
I
the
believe
meaning
you.
of that one. It's
believe you.
God gave you us.
That's right.
You're welcome. We're gifts. That's what it comes down to. So,
Your viewership just cut in half, by the way.
well, Surveyor Brett's mad at me and stuff, so it doesn't
What is
matter.
he? What?
Well,
Called him out?
I'm not going to go through full everything, but like I'm working on it, but we don't have full bonus offers yet in the Nasty Club, so he's mad at me and stuff. But we're working on that.
Well, yeah, a little patience, Surveyor Brett, please. Yeah.
But so if you don't want to renew next year,
Must be slow.
don't renew next year, Surveyor Brett.
Well,
that's the
maybe
only
it's
answer
slow
I
at
have
work
for you.
today.
So yeah, we'll get there. And
We'll get there.
It's what is there? 5 of us that work here.
I blame Rogers.
Well, I don't know what's going on with the internet right now.
It's just, blame the telecorp. It's Nasty Club.
Come and knock down.
probably
Knocked
an
us down
internet
today.
issue.
Knocked us down today. So, and we got the 100 likes.
Yes.
We're at
Twice,
113
apparently.
likes.
Off a threat.
Well, I threatened people good today. Did you hear the threat?
No.
We
People
need more
missed the
threats.
threat.
More threats.
Me and Eric, early in the show, I don't even know how it came up. We started talking soccer, FA Cup, and then the Pogba news.
I think I made the mistake of bringing it up.
Well, and then you and I are going to have a quick little chat on that.
I find it so funny that Dusty was so worked up about when you guys talk about what's the point of an FA Cup. And like, has he watched Welcome to Wrexham? Because that kind of
No,
actually
he
explains
watches
a bit of
the Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, but that's not a
I know.
documentary about real world.
But he thinks it is. So
Oh.
there's
It's
no.
awful for
I
soccer.
can't. What am I going to do?
It
Tell
is
him that-
awful for soccer.
But
It's great for uplifting your
somebody messaged the show a few days ago or something like that, and they said you two should do a podcast where you do like a wrap up or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind the soccer talk. Like, you know, I was telling again family yesterday. It's like, well, they talk about more than hockey, and then when you guys talk about
try
soccer,
to.
everybody
We try
gets
to.
upset about it.
Yeah.
You're like, but
Actually, there was quite a few people, because Dusty immediately played the Connor McDavid
I know.
goal scorer or whatever. There's people like, I want more soccer talk.
No.
But I threatened people today, because it was like 6:20, and people were upset, and I was like, okay, well, look, me and Eric are going to talk soccer at 7 o'clock, rest of the hour. I have control. I'll shut Dusty's mic off. When Luke Gazdik's on, we're going to just ask him soccer talk until he quits, and we're
I
just going
really
to talk
want to do
soccer.
that.
Or...
can you imagine
Click the-
if he turns out like, is he a big soccer guy?
No,
or just random.
probably not.
who knows? Maybe he is.
Nobody
we don't
likes
know.
soccer.
You guys
He's
do
You
an
know something?
entire, you do an entire hour, and Gazdik is just like, absolutely, this FA Cup and this team that
Gets a little closer to the camera. Like he's in.
I'm
Like,
here.
he's
This is what I'm waiting
guys,
for.
I'm gonna miss a meeting, but that's fine. Let's just keep going.
Well, there's the thing. Like,
Dusty's freaking.
You
out
never
on the
know. You
side.
never know.
we can't know unless we ask him those questions, and people get upset when they ask those questions. But my threat was, okay, get to 100 likes before 7 o'clock, and I won't do that. And it was within minutes. We're like 85 likes, and then we quickly got
easy.
to the 100,
Well,
and it was
I heard
passed.
it-
So it's like it's that simple to
More threats.
to click like. So like right now on this channel,
I heard the second part where you talked about the threat.
Yeah.
And it went from 60 to 100 in 3 minutes.
it was unbelievable.
People
Like,
hate soccer.
It showed that all you have to do is click the like button. Like it's right there. Why aren't you doing it already? Why do I have to threaten you? So every time on the morning show now, I guess I'm going to start talking soccer, threaten people. with more
EST
soccer
Edmonton
talk.
Soccer Talk.
Ooh, that's what we should call our soccer podcast when we do it. EST. That's it. Like there's Edmonton Sports Talk, but then we're just going to have that as EST, just the 3 letters, and then one. Welcome to Edmonton Soccer Talk here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Or maybe Edmonton Football Talk to really throw a. Hey, they got this new show, Edmonton Football Talk. Great. NFL season's right here. And then we're talking, Carabao Cup. Ah!
Scott Laurie Need a Euro 2024 recap show this summer. I actually don't mind that. Actually, it would be almost Euros Copa America combined. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for us.
And for certain people.
I
out
think
there.
if you guys put
Nobody
together,
likes it.
like, it doesn't have to be a daily show, but
No.
like if you guys
Yeah.
did like a summary and kind of breakdown, because like what, so I don't want to bring up bad memories for you, but like what happened with Liverpool? Their manager moved.
He's leaving.
Well, he's leaving at the end of the season, he announced. So
Oh, so it's all like F1 style. Lewis Hamilton's going to race with Mercedes this year and then completely jump ship. So
yeah, but he's doing this so that the club can position themselves into a.
You texted me, but I didn't read it yet.
That's fine. You guys are busy.
Why were
Nice
you
to
here?
talk to you.
You know, it's really nice to see you.
Yeah, yeah.
Why were you here?
Oh, just getting that prize.
Oh, nice. What'd you win?
I believe it's from A&W,
Zach took care of you.
Oh,
He's good-
text
good.
of the day. Good for you, Tube Socks.
and I thought I'd come here because I, want to see you as well. Finally. Yeah. Anyways.
That's Tube Socks. I don't know how much you could hear of that, but it's good seeing you. Bye, Tube Socks.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Oilers.
I don't
What-
think that we should trade Holloway.
Vinny Desharnais.
It would have to be quite the player
Well, like,
to get
what
back
was
for
what was
Holloway.
thrown out there for a trade for Holloway? Like,
I
who
just-
would he be going for?
watching, watching last night and the speed that he has to get up, it's one of those things where I think you'll regret that trade in 3 years.
I'm just
When
trying
he
to think
finds-
who was
when he
thrown out
finds his
there.
hands and some confidence and some ability. Like,
But what was the player that was being thrown out for Holloway? You traded him. I'm just trying to remember who exactly
But it was like Holloway-
because it wasn't Gensel.
was it?
Gensel was like
Buchnevich, are we? It was,
It was two.
yeah,
It was
Buchnevich, I
Buchnevich,
think.
yeah.
Parayko and the one you were talking about.
Oh,
was
the big package
was
that
the
Dusty
big
said was
package,
yeah,
yeah.
with Parayko included.
Parayko and
yeah, I
Buchnevich,
forget the
and then it
details
was-
on that too, but
Well, I think he said 2 firsts, Holloway and Kulak or
okay,
CC or something.
okay.
I think if you're like Holloway still has to grow into something.
That's what I mean. I
If
think
you're
I
getting
think
Buchnevich though right now for these next couple of years, there's your win.
hey, that's where Ken Holland has to make a decision, and I'm not in that chair. But
you pay to play now for these 2 years, as he said with Pavel. You get the 2. What Holloway could be, like, you never know. Same with the Tanev deal yesterday. I mean, yeah, the Stars win today. Who knows what a prospect turns out to be, but you win for today, and the Oilers need to win for today.
well, it's like the Washington trade a bunch of years ago where they shipped Forsberg to Nashville for, was it Gernat or Erat?
Martin Erat. Yeah. And it's like, I mean,
That
but
didn't pan out.
it didn't pan out, but you make the move in the moment to
But was that even Buchnevich level
well,
quality? you're getting
arguably, I
back?
mean, we can, yeah, it's, but in the moment, that was the thought, and it's the same with Nurse in the deal too. In that moment, you could argue, well, what do you do? And then things change a year later, 2 years later, and the market resets and shifts, and you're like, oh, this is a dumb thing. Or
Well, they
this
should have given him an 8-year deal 3 years before that.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, they didn't, and then they have to act in the moment, and that's again, like the Stars and Tanev, that's great for them and good for today. What tomorrow could bring, who knows? But that kind of leads into the Holloway thing too. Like it,
Yeah, that's
who
a tough
knows?
one,
I don't know.
'cause-
And maybe he does take off, but certainly adding Buchnevich in that top 6 as a lock for the remainder of this year and next would be quite tempting.
I still also don't think that there's going to be like major trades for the Oilers next week. Maybe Ken. Like, I guess the only thing that I would have to counter myself, my own comment on that, is Ken Holland has always done a few moves at the deadline with the Edmonton
year
Oilers.
anniversary yesterday, I do believe.
Well,
the
the
Ekholm deal.
Ekholm, like going into COVID, he went and he got Athanasiou and Mike Green.
But they're always
Was
a little
there,
off
like,
the board trades too.
They
right?
are off the
They're
board
not-
trades too.
which makes it like, because when they traded for Ekholm, it was like, yes.
No one saw that coming. I remember how pissed people were with Ken Holland last year because he wasn't making a move, and then all of a sudden pulls out a
And you get Ekholm.
Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What is this deal? This is amazing."
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and think what the other trades were, but like he always at least does something. And
Yeah, I was excited when they drafted Reed Schaefer because he played for Seattle and he was annoying to watch play the Oil Kings because he was big and fast and kind of dominated. So
Well, even
I was
in
sad to see him go.
the Bukestad acquisition was that fit in just perfectly for what they needed at the time and everything. And again, it's too bad you can't rewind that and go back to that player. But
Well, it's too bad we couldn't have just signed him.
well, I know, yeah, that would have been the thing. But
2 years and $2 million or whatever it was.
well, the thing is, he didn't want that money. Like he wanted to get a little bit more by going back to Arizona.
fair on him in what he did.
No, but like that we had no cap room to make that. That's
yeah.
not a big
But
contract.
I
that he
think they
has.
could have offered a little less. Like they did offer him less because they couldn't go higher, and he went and took more money with Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like at that point.
But if you had a little bit more, you could have Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those don't hate the player, hate the game situations.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can't fault the guy for.
Not being in Edmonton during the winter, even though we had a great winter this year, and getting a little more money to be in Arizona, right?
You only live once. But he just fit in so well.
He did. And
Actually, it's surprising he didn't go to a different, like another contender, didn't try to do something with him.
well, it's funny though how much the Coyotes were in the playoff conversation for so long this season too.
See,
That
he
no one
knew.
was
They're
expecting.
all in it
It's
for the
not
cup.
like-
But then they've dropped, like, what, haven't they not
they all
lost
want to win
like
the cup.
12
But he doesn't-
straight
He
or
doesn't
something?
sign in Arizona last year thinking I have a shot at a Stanley Cup.
They all dream of it. Don't kid yourself.
Well, of course they do.
But and every decision made is to win the cup.
That's right.
Money
The
aside, money's not a
season starts with 0 points for everybody.
Yeah.
I need to go see. What was I going to go look up with that one? How many straight losses?
But if
the
you're
Coyotes
offered
have?
you're offered like $1 million more, you go to play in Arizona, you stay here with a chance to like, like the example here
Has
we're
he
kind of
won
setting.
one before?
Bukestad.
13 straight for the Coyotes. They've lost 13 straight. So that's
Bukestad won a cup.
Nick.
Well, you have your
Because
phone
he
out.
was,
Sorry.
he was a big.
Like if he has, maybe
remember
that
his name
diminishes
from
the question.
Florida.
But if you haven't yet, right? Like
Yeah,
you.
that's where. 'cause-
He has no Stanley Cup championships.
So
So I know you make the money. If
He only
you,
has played in
grab the bag when you
27
can.
career NHL playoff games. 12 of those came last year with the Edmonton Oilers.
Like, what's the monetary value you'd put on it of being on this team and potentially winning a cup in a year or two? Like, right? Like I just
at the tail end.
I find it
Kind of
curious.
He's not an $8
no,
million
exactly.
player
Yeah,
type
yeah.
thing, right?
Not a lot more shots down the line to.
What was the age? He's only
It's always
31
good
though.
to what if.
So
what
he's
professional
around.
Athletes have to do, eh?
Look, yeah, if we talk about enough, we can craft up how they live their lives and all these scenarios that they do.
It's like
But
watching Ovechkin be excited to win a Kia sedan at an All-Star game.
well, those are big cars in Russia.
I had a Kia and I really enjoyed it.
You did.
I'm
you
not gonna lie.
booted that.
Yeah, you
we had
don't make
a
$12
couple road
million
trips
a
in
year.
that thing. Yeah.
But the Kia Rio was fantastic. It cut through the snow. Like I'd have no issues
Sure.
in the snow. It plowed through.
4-door.
It was 4-door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter tires.
Actually, yes. It came
Good.
with winter tires.
Good.
And so I got them on rims. So I just replaced them every spring and fall myself.
Did
Switch
Dusty
those
ever
around.
figure out how to use 4x4? I was hoping
I
to get to
don't
talk to
know.
him today. I was going to explain some stuff, but
What do you know?
well,
Let us know.
just leave it in auto. Like everything else nowadays, your truck is smarter.
But we
than
don't know
you.
if he had auto or not. Did we?
No, he said he had it. He did say
But I don't know. Okay.
because we have similar pickups, Chevys or GMCs. But you just leave it in auto and it'll auto do it. But the big one that I don't know if it came up or whatever, but when you're in 4x4, all your tires turn at the same rate, basically, right? So when it's snowy and ice, if you turn a corner, your tire can slip on the ice because when you turn a corner, the radiuses are different. So your tires will spin at different speeds to make the same corner. So if you're on dry pavement, then you're just grabbing tires, and that's where you start to have the problems everyone talks about. So if it's snowy out, you can leave it in 4 high, you'll be fine. But if you get on dry pavement, that's where you have problems.
This is why I'm just going to keep a car.
See, Dusty.
Yeah. Just I'm going to stay with
Well,
a car.
in front wheel drive just eliminates all of that anyway
Yeah.
because you're pulling forward. and it doesn't
Automatic
matter.
transmission.
I like driving standards.
Don't even think.
My winter
Yeah, I know.
beater
I-
is a standard. My winter beater needs to be an automatic because there's nothing worse than using a standard in rush hour or winter driving.
I can
And then
imagine.
winter driving, I mean like busy, bogged down traffic winter driving, not just getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've never learned it. Never sat behind a standard vehicle and learned, but I kind of do want
Never
to.
tried it, though?
Never tried it. I do kind of want to go
drive
try
my
it
car.
and stuff. I might take you up on that one.
You're not gonna-
Get someone to teach me how to do it. My brother bought actually his first car he bought was a standard, but he didn't know how to drive it at the time. So my dad had to drive it off the lot and then teach him how to drive it. So it was.
Did your dad know what to do, or was
Yeah.
he?
No, my dad. Well,
He also didn't know, but he accepted the challenge.
I like all the.
They made it
There's a
home.
portion where everyone knew how to do it. That was all that there was. JMO bought a car pre-COVID with standard in it, and he was loving driving again. He bought it specifically to just start driving standard again.
That was his COVID hobby.
Why? I don't know. I think it was before
to learn,
COVID
I
that
would
he
love
got
to
it.
learn how to drive a race car.
Oh
Like
boy,
watching
on the wheel, switching the
not even up to the F1 level, but just to understand the speed and how to corner properly and what you can and the limits you can take. Like watching Top Gear back in the day where they do the loop with the basic car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put a professional driver in there and they cut 20 seconds off the standard person because they know the absolute limit they can push a car to one way or another.
a little
And
drifting,
he'd say-
maybe. Hey,
Yeah, but like, if you take a corner too hard, you might think you're going to flip, and then a professional driver's like, you got 50% more. Like, the car's not going to do anything.
that's why rally car racing has to be the tops of the like that. That's you take everything with race car driving and everything and the principles you're just saying, but then you go in a wooded area with people lining the track, and it's a path more narrow than this room, and the guy is going L2588, and you're like, that stuff is some of the most
Dukes of Hazzard
thrilling
type of thing.
That's the best. Is it not the best type of racing? I mean, we all have our
I would
flavors and everything.
love. It's not. We've seen it in a racing circle. A demolition derby would be like so much fun though.
They have them on a channel out of Seattle every Sunday night. It
What?
runs from it's called the Evergreen Racetrack, and so they have this figure 8 thing, and they get these beaters. So they're driving this figure 8, and of course you see what's coming. Eventually somebody hits each other, but it's got this little kid from Seattle, and they're doing it out Tacoma or something like that. I'll send you the links. Both
Please.
of you. It is great stuff. Very fascinating television. But rally car racing, I mean, it's just like I need more of that. We could do a rally car racing pod maybe on EST.
Would you be standing on the sidelines watching these cars fly by you?
I
or
think
would
you'd
you
have to. Would you what a rush?
Well, yeah. There's rushes and then there's being home.
waiver form rush type of thing.
Maybe if you're not in a splash zone, like if something happens, it's gonna go past.
Wouldn't
you
want to be on a
instead.
turn, a straightaway.
Yeah.
This is, that type of thing. But
There's this one video I remember we watched at Ryan's place.
yes,
It was the night of drinking, and I don't know how we got demolition derbies thrown on.
It's great stuff.
And there's this one where there was just this like track, and they're just driving around, and then there was like a trailer, and this one car like ended up going inside
into
the
the
trailer.
trailer,
it just sits there, and it was a disaster.
Oh,
but it was amazing.
total
Like,
chaos.
There's one outside, not far from Edmonton. I forgot where it is.
I'm gonna have to put
But it
that on
happens
the
like
list.
once a year, and it's a big deal.
Well, it's good
It's
fun.
not Westlock or something like that. I
I've
don't
never
know.
witnessed one in public, but I
It'd be so
assume
much
that'd
fun.
be great. But then also, if you're sitting around with the fellas or whatever you crack open the YouTube, watch a couple of demolition.
I
It's
was
great
just gonna
stuff.
say I've never thought to turn YouTube on,
Right?
drinking beers, going, let's just put on a demolition derby and
Yes.
see
So
what
good.
happens.
When you're a little buzzed,
And then
you're
it just goes to
whipping
the
around
next
and-
one and the next one and the next
Yeah.
one type thing, and you're just watching demolition derbies. And there
and
are
it's
some
the
fantastic
crowd,
ones
it's the
out there.
setting, the whole bit.
Oh.
Like it's all.
Everyone's having a great time. It's
Bring it back.
It would be good.
let's
You guys
just
should
buy.
sponsor
Well,
something.
that's
Yeah,
the thing.
a
Let's
car,
buy
get
an
an old
EST beater and submit it into a race.
Yeah.
I want to put up the EST, paint EST on it. Edmonton
Grumpy
soccer
Cat can
talk.
drive it for us.
Oh yeah. Out immediately. Well, that was it.
The roll bars and everything.
I think Uke might be selling his beater eventually. That beater truck.
Oh yeah,
Maybe we
well,
should go grab that one.
worth an inquiry. Hey, get a bit of a discount.
We'll do a draw. Actually,
He'll pay us to take it off his
We'll
hands.
do a draw from the Nasty Club. That person gets to drive it.
Gets to drive.
thought
Next
you were-
day, the number's available. Oops. You want 69? We'll get yeah.
Here, I thought you were going to say you can draw a name from the Nasty Club and they can buy the truck with no option.
That'd be
Here,
pretty
you
cool.
owe
We could
us-
do both.
You owe
Yeah,
us
yeah.
$1,000.
Sell it to you
for
for
the
the
truck.
yeah.
Oh, they're going to supply it for us. Oh, or we could buy the truck. Nasty Club winner gets to drive. Another Nasty Club gets to keep the damaged goods.
Sure, the cube or the. I see Dusty with the
Your
top and
cube
bottom
is
mouth
available
guard
for
and the helmet.
your cube has been towed. Or
Day
your car's been
available, yeah.
towed, and to come pick up your cube.
I look having an. Oh man, that's a hell of a.
Wetaskiwin.
Is that where it is?
Oh, David Schmidt saying
That's
that.
where cars cost less.
That's why they do it there.
Okay, we got to get this. I mean, I know, Maddie, you have a lot of things on your whiteboard in the office there, but this jets right to the top.
You have a lot of things on your whiteboard?
Like I think
do.
the
Well,
golf
we have a
tournament.
lot of plans.
golf
How
tournament
often-
takes a back seat now. I think. in
How
golf
often
class.
do you go through and like nope or update?
Well, I'm always
or-
looking at it. Yesterday, I added more to it. I haven't. It's been a while since I've taken some things off of it, so that's not good.
Like, has it become one of those things where you like, you have stickies by your computer, but then all of those stickies are important but old, so you cover them with more stickies, and then all of
No.
a sudden you have stickies from 3 years ago. You're like, well, I guess that's
It's
not
getting
no.
there.
What it needs is like I
Only been
need
6
some.
months though next week. Apparently.
I need to just actually settle in and not have any work on air distractions, as weird as that is, and just check off a bunch of things. I need
Sounds
that
like
time.
Zacticum needs to
But
start.
That's Zach work.
It's,
Not doing the checking, but making sure things are running smoothly.
Sure, yeah.
well, it's so on the list of things now. Demolition. It doesn't go to the top, but now demolition derby
Wow.
might have to be there. Golf
I'll go
tournament.
write it for you.
for events. Golf tournament is there. I have to still. I'm trying to work on an EST Grand Prix day where people could come. We'll go racing, like
At the mall
go-kart
there
type
with the,
racing,
Oh, yeah.
and then go out for that one. So there's that one. The Estes, we need to get going on. The
Yeah.
big award show
You
in
guys book a
September.
banquet room for that, and
I've got some contact info for Metro Cinema, so we want to go to the Garneau.
Oh yeah.
now I need to have plans for trying to see how we can do a nasty corner at an Oiler game
All right, yeah, that'll be
to try to build
that
some sort
sounds
of
like
trend.
that, actually, I really like that idea.
might
I
be the
think that would
toughest
be-
one though to execute of all.
I don't.
It would be tough to do, I think.
Yeah.
In what way?
Getting enough people, and then like you'd have to pre-plan a bunch of stuff, right?
Yes. So
Like,
like,
then there's meetings and like what are you going to chant? How
Yeah.
are you going to chant? You're going to have cheat sheets and stuff like that.
yep, hymn notes. So basically, like, so what it would start for me with that is I need to communicate with the organization to be like, is there a way I can get X amount of tickets?
And there we are.
And then this is,
Communicating with the
but
organization.
explain.
I might
like,
have a contact for you
Hey.
well, I've got contacts. It's a matter of the way they want to do it.
to just sell you 40 tickets.
Yes.
They don't want to sell you 40 tickets.
I don't know. That's the thing. So
Oh, the
it's-
game's not sold out. I'll buy 40 tickets.
If we can,
No.
but we need a like as you said, like this needs to be pre-planned well in advance.
Yeah.
So it's like when the schedule comes out, like pick a day in January, grab that game, say like I want these sections, and then sell them to people our listeners.
Yeah.
But also have to vet them and be like, our plan here is we are going to make noise and we are trying to build either a chant or the Blink 182 thing from Colorado.
Not
here.
allowed.
And then we're going to
Not
have to
allowed.
have a meeting where I think like you'd have to bring people together and be like, hey, what song should we try? And then try to get those songs to the Oilers DJ so he plays them, but also know when we know
then
when
I'll-
it's going to be
Nah.
played.
And if you can get the camera guy to cut to you once in a while.
See that I'll leave on the side
Yeah.
because that might be too much for the.
I think first we hire our own usher. And then
off
it
an
all
usher?
starts from there.
Well,
Well,
we could
because
pay
you're
off the
not
usher.
all of this stuff is fun and good, but none of it's happening.
So now you're just
I'm
trying,
trying to be-
infiltrate.
I know you're trying to be realistic, but it's
Well,
here's
they
the
don't,
thing.
they don't like that. They don't want it. They don't allow it.
It's worth the conversation.
Sure.
I just
I'm
need
here
to
for
go
the con-
have that conversation.
Good luck.
So that's on my board.
Yeah. I will be
Demolition
an usher.
Derby is
I will
now
apply
there.
to be an usher for this cause.
But so there's and then also it's like, okay, well, how many people would actually be interested? Like I think if we said, hey, we have a nasty spot for people to come watch an Oiler game together,
oh, yeah.
that's easy to
Oh,
sell
yeah, yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
You for sure.
But we need an expectation of if you buy this ticket, there's no sitting, there's no,
No.
enjoying just the game and with your arms crossed. You need to be making noise, and the goal is to find something.
you gotta get
and
the
there's
right
a
spot
there's a
then.
situation where it's like you might not even be paying attention to the game, and you're there just for the fun part of this. So then there's that vetting process of who wants to
So
do
here's
that, who
I have
doesn't.
an important question for you.
Okay.
In this section, if the wave starts, do you sit down and cross your arms, or do you participate in the wave?
I will explain what my process behind this. I would say yes, you sit down and you don't take part in the wave because this came up with as to replace the wave.
Oh, I like the wave though. I don't like the wave in a close game, but like when you're up by 3 or 4 goals and
And it also depends when it is, I guess.
Yeah.
If it's a blowout, then sure, I think the section's
yeah,
perfect.
everybody's
But
happy and having fun. And
my argument on the morning show was the wave a couple nights ago, well, it worked, but it brought an atmosphere to the game. Finally, that place was actually lively when the wave started. So how do we get it more lively at other points? So this is trying to replace the wave in a close game. So it's like it's a 2-2 hockey game. Oilers taking on the Golden Knights, Game 7, Western Conference Final. I guess it can't be Western Conference Finals. Western Conference semifinals.
And you hear that everybody
It's-
clap your hands, and then everybody starts clapping really
But then
fast.
it's that offensive zone face-off
you know
or whatever.
6,000 kids doing that in an Oil Kings game? Very loud.
No, that's great.
Offensive zone face-off, and then some guy starting to try to get the wave going. No. This is where the
Oh, no,
chant
I'm,
gets going, or the song gets going, and that's what's the replacement of the wave. So it depends when, I guess, what's happening in the game and if the wave. If it's a blowout, then yeah, I think the whole section waves, not wave,
Yeah,
but like
I'm definitely one of those fun sponges that people talk about. Like I'll cheer and stuff like that, but I'm there to watch hockey. Usually, if you
And
sign
then
up
that's
for that,
fair.
and if you sign up for that and stuff, but like I definitely don't begrudge people who are cheering and things.
Well, and then that's where part of this though is there's that vetting process of okay, if you want to just watch the game, this isn't for you. Please do not buy this ticket.
Yeah.
And so that's the first roadblock though is going through the organization.
Maybe we just
Oh,
need to get.
none of this
it's
is
a pretty
happening.
major
None of this is
roadblock.
happening.
I don't
that's
know.
fine. It's
I
dirty
don't
dream.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to go experience Davos or those European ones. That
Yeah,
you guys
where
do
people
and
have
stuff.
fun and they're not so buttoned down. And yeah.
That'd be. I think you got to get 18,000 Oilers fans to go do that, and then see what it's like, and then come back. Like those voyageurs during those Canadian games that were played here for qualifiers before the World
They were
Cup.
great.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Were you there?
I was at the games. I wasn't in the Voyager
No,
section,
but you were close.
I
Or
could.
just-
No, I don't.
You
think
saw-
so.
you were at-
But
you just
you
saw
could
them.
see them, and you see them, and you're like, man, how do you get into that? Because that would be.
And actually the tickets were really cheap. with the Voyagers. It was a great little time. We had a lot of fun at that one.
Usually those tickets are cheaper, though, to go into the rambunctious zone, if you will, or whatever. Like, it's more so geared towards a college, I don't know, age, I guess, or whatever, and it is a little cheaper. But yes, the disclaimer of, hey, this is a specific section for specific actions and such, and if you have a child or an elderly or somebody disabled, like, here's the warning. And then yeah, you split people, and then there's no complaining. I think everybody would live peacefully and do their thing. And then that section bleeds off into the rest, and you get the whole thing. It's a beautiful thing if you can execute it.
We can get a GrumpyCat section. You can get an entire section
like
behind
that.
the bench just sitting like this.
The counter.
That would be, I'd be
And
with you on
yelling,
that one more so.
Nothing. You don't.
I despise people who yell shoot. Despise them.
Is there a Venn diagram with the
If
people, the
you
grumpy
are-
ones? No, there's a shoot.
No, because the
They don't
grumpy
like people yelling
don't
shoot.
yell anything.
And nothing. Okay.
Yeah, you'd be sitting there not yelling anything. But we had the Oil Kings put on these little coach talks. So the coach comes up, we go up into the Gretzky Lounge, and then he comes up and breaks down the game a little bit, and just gives a little breakdown to some of us season seat holders, which is always fun and entertaining. You get to ask a quick question here or there about what their thoughts are and things like that. And this one lady, and she's been a season seat holder for a while, and I don't, when people are too self-deprecating, they're like, oh, I'm not a real big hockey fan, and I don't really understand, and these people around me know much more because they're always yelling shoot, and I'm just sitting there like, they don't know more than you. You obviously know more than those people right now. But
By not yelling shoot.
I can't handle people who yell shoot all the time. And you see it a lot too. Like, they take a shot and it hits its shin pad, and you're like, and everybody goes, oh, so close. And you're like, not close at all. Nope. Didn't even make it past the face-off dot.
I'm here for your grumpy section. You're here.
That suits more me. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah. I
It
mean,
does suit me.
Wouldn't it just be funny? Like, so I was at a game once with some friends, and I ended up on the broadcast, like just on a pan of the crowd. And like, I'm not a small person. I kind of stand out every now and then, especially once you notice. And they were like, yeah, you were just sitting there, arms crossed, just looking angry at the entire thing. I'm like, the game hadn't even started yet. And I'm getting these text messages of a screenshot of me just staring at the ice.
It's a preemptive strike. Preemptive
So-
strike. That's it. Hangout's over.
That's it?
What?
We've gone through 2 hours. Yeah. Thank you,
That was not
GrumpyCat
nearly
/Matt
as,
for coming in.
It was not nearly as painful as you made it out to be.
I try to make it
He
people know
warned you.
that it's miserable. It's miserable. No, you were fantastic. It was great having
Thank you.
Love the jersey.
It is a sharp one. I like
It
this.
is, isn't it?
I
Go
really like
watch
it.
the Oil Kings,
The only-
especially like the Oil Kings. So here, I'll just plug
They've
the
been
Oil Kings
smashing
really quick.
attendance this year too.
Every Sunday, family fun day. Take your kids. They have blow up castles in Ford Hall and stuff like that.
Yep.
So they're not, the winningest team this year, but they're still fun to watch.
You usually had a good time on those Sundays. Hey, it's a bit of an earlier.
Yeah, it's
Late afternoon.
Usually 4:00 start, but they got kids meals there that are affordable for families, $10, hot dog, pop, and chips for your kids and stuff like that. So be a season seat holder. Tell them GrumpyCat sent you, and that'll just confuse them.
I would love that. Yeah, I'd like to buy some tickets. GrumpyCat sent me. Excuse me? Thanks for coming in, and thank you for the support with the Nasty Club. We really do appreciate it. Coming up next, Lock Shop Huss, and is it Jake you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
'cause,
How's it, Jake? Yeah.
And then two guys in a goal. I think me, Gager, and Cass will have you covered at noon right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on iHeartRadio, on TuneIn. That's to wrap up this Thursday, this leap day of leap year.
This is where
here
the
on
girls
Edmonton Sports
propose to
Talk.
the boys.
Is that what it is? Hey, that's the.
What's up is down, and what's down is up.
Well, I'll talk to you guys in 4 years then. Hey,
When we announce-
reconvene.
Maybe Gazzola's engaged all of a sudden.
Maybe that's
What
why
do you put the odds at for that?
Is MIA.
Because we had that on the morning show. If you had to put odds on that, what would you put it at?
I wouldn't put odds on love.
Hand it there.
He is GrumpyCat.
Hand
He's
it there.
Lieutenant Eric. Joaquin Gage was here earlier. I'm Matt Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Angle. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes, and we just have to be quiet for like 3 seconds as the extra plays. Otherwise, we'll go live on the air. Just throwing that out there. Thanks for tuning in. Lock Shop, just a few minutes. Thanks for watching.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,